Okay, so we're just carry on with where we left off last week. Yeah, we wasn't able to finish this case because of the drilling and hammering noise from the neighbours. So hopefully we can finish this today, and we shall see if we will continue episode 5 or case 5 or whatever it is, which probably is the last one. So without further ado, guys, let's carry on. We might be halfway with this episode, I'm not too sure. So yeah, I'll decide whether just to play this only and then call it, or to continue on. It depends how long the rest of this case lasts. I kind of forgot the voices I gave to people, so there might be some differences and inconsistency, but it is what it is. September 10, 5:45 PM, District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1. What is this incredibly overpowering sweet scent? Oh yeah, so if I remember correctly, the only place that we haven't been is the Lobby 1, because the murder took place in Lobby 2, right? And yeah, okay, that makes sense then. Okay, so we're in Lobby 1 now, and I'm assuming these bars aren't bars like you would see in like some households. I think when they were talking about the bars outside in the hallway, it was to prevent people from falling all the way down. So I'm guessing it's kind of like a balcony bar and not just like a window bar, so you can actually get out the window. But I might be wrong, but it sounded like that. I mean, from the visual sides of aspects of things, it doesn't look like it's something that you can that's like actually get out or get in from the outside, or get out, jump out, because it looks like the whole window is completely barred. But maybe it's like a balcony instead, because if it's a balcony instead, then it's possible that either I've forgotten their names now. I mean, I am sus of these two characters though, mind you. So either Bad or you, Callisto, you could have like climbed out the window. Because like I said, if it's like a balcony, they can just walk along or crawl along the balcony bar, and then go into the, because you know how in Lobby 2 the window was also open, so they could have went inside that way, and then did the deeds, and then climb back out. So climb back out of the building, along the balcony again, and jump back inside Lobby 1. Then the other person would leave together, so they could kind of like lie, I guess, and like lie to each other to form an alibi, right? And they could have done that. It's possible. And I think out of the two, I think the most likely one will probably be Castillo. I feel like she's probably the most likely one to do it, but she's an attorney. Why would she kill? But she has a reason. She's got like a motive too, and she probably thought she can get away with this. And then obviously with someone who's a detective to cover her up, you know, to watch her, lie for her to have, so she can have an alibi. That could happen as well. I know I'm accusing either a defense attorney or a detective that did the killing. It's a bit of a yikes, but you know, I do think the attorney has a motive. Whether the detective has a motive or not, that remains to be seen. I'm not too sure yet what his motive could be. But yeah, we'll see. I forgot what voice I gave Francisca. Okay. It smells like flowers. Uncle Bad, is this it? Isn't that Detective Bad and Kay over there? It looks like she's managed to escape the bailiff. No, that's not quite it. Oh, too bad, but it's so pretty. I think you're still a bit too young to be around that. Oh, so that's the perfume scent thing, right? So it could be like someone left this here. Could it be Castillo you? But we'll see. But since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it. Thanks, I'll treasure it always. Those two seem to get along rather well. Oh, here, I've got something else for you. Oh, Swiss rolls. Yay! Thank you, Uncle Bad. Earlier, I ate one of these with Gummy. Gummy? Oh, you mean Gumshoe. Gummy, yes. He was trying to be nice to me because I was gonna get in trouble. And then he got in trouble because he lied to protect me. Gummy. I know he didn't kill Daddy. Don't cry. Faraday will be sad if he saw you crying. I'm not crying. Okay. Oh, it's the mister from before and the lady too. Don't you think it'll be a good idea to go home for the time being? You're not involved in the investigation, so it's for the best if you do. Actually, I'm Uncle Bad's assistant, so I'm related to the investigation. Is that so, Detective Bad? Yeah, I guess. What? You were just scolding us little, like kids, to not mess up with the crime scene. And now you let this child run free? Why? People are free to investigate things outside of the actual crime scene. You also had a few things you wanted to look into. Got a problem with that? I don't have a problem with that, but I'm just curious as to what Miss Yu is looking into. Uncle Bad, I'm gonna go look outside it. I'm gonna go look at somewhere else now, okay? Alright, I'm counting on you. Oh, that's right. Hey, mister. Yes, what is it? I know Gummy really isn't the bad guy. I mean, so please find the real bad guy, okay? Don't worry, Kay, we'll find a bad guy. I still think it's one of those two. It'll be such a backstab to her if it ends up being Detective Bad, but I don't know. Something tells me is you for now, but I could swap sides and think it's Bad. I think it's one of those two, but we'll see. I won't forgive whoever did this, but in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence, there is no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe. She wandered off while I was pondering. Okay, so that means I guess we can walk around. Let's talk to this guy. Detective Bad, what exactly was Kay searching for? Nothing that concerns you, boy. Oh? And I suppose it's something to do with Kay. It does, because she's Faraday's daughter. Anyways, hurry up and get to the point. I don't have time to waste. It sounds like he'd rather be left alone. I have something I'd like to confirm with you once again. I don't have anything to say to you. Be that as it may, we still have questions that we need answers to. Now then, first of all, what is this overpowering smell that is permeating this room? Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate. It's that ultra strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. I was having a bad time of it myself. I didn't think twice about opening the window, but that smell's still here. Oh, could that be a cover-up? I thought initially that there could be like traces of blood left over here, and it's to mask the smell of iron or blood. But I guess this could be an excuse to open the window so they can leave and do the killing. Okay. It's quite smart if they did do that. Perfume, huh? So, the sweet scent in the air is perfume. Well, it's giving off quite a stench. I bet it's some cheap no-name brand. She said it's a famous brand from overseas. It's a knockoff, yes, definitely a knockoff. No disrespect, but she forced one of those bottles on me. Here, little girl, you can have it. I was born for much more expensive and refined perfume. However, seeing as you just happen to have spare, I suppose I'll take it. Miles Edgrift, you will hold on to this bottle without fail. Why can't she ever be honest about her wants? Angel. That's her perfume brand. Okay. So her data, her perfume data is jotted down in my organizer. So now we have the perfume Ms. Yu wears. Just fantastic. Is that all you wanted to talk about? If so, I'm going back to investigating. Actually, I still have a few other things I wish to inquire about. Tisk. Okay, during the recess. So you were in this room the entire recess? Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get that big lug down here. But other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end in here. At least your story is consistent. Earlier, you stated that you were in this lobby with Ms. Yu. Yeah, I ran into her in the hallway. She said she wanted to talk to me about something, so we came in here. Then what you're saying is that until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Ms. Yu were in two different locations? I guess I am. Interesting. Speaking of that lawyer, she seems to have a great dislike for you. Oof. Let's see. Miss Yu is the sister of the victim of the KG8 incident, and as I recall, Detective Bad was the lead detective on the case. I wonder if the reason for her disdain isn't simply because you failed to guard Cece, but because you were the lead detective on the case. You knew? I also know that today's trial involving the Kodopian embassy staff member is being referred to as the second KG8 incident. Now then, detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me and told me the truth behind your relationship with Miss Yu and Mr. Faraday. And the KG8 incident. If you knew that much, if you already know that much, I guess it'd be alright to tell you. Okay, let's listen to the KG8 incident. So maybe she could have, could she have done it beforehand? With him not being there at the time? But I'm worried about the gunshot noise. That's the problem. It feels like he must have been in the lobby when the gunshot happened. So either he went and did it or she went and did it. But he knows. One of them must have known that the other person went and did it. Or maybe the defense attorney be like, yeah, you owe me because you done goof in the KG8 incident. And because of you, my sister, who's the victim, she couldn't get justice, and then you owe me. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna pat that guy, and you're gonna turn a blind eye and look the other way, avert your gaze. That's what she could do, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how both of them, who did it, and how they convinced the other one to like turn a blind eye and look the other way, or they both wanted them gone. Or maybe the intention was just to kill one person, but obviously because of the other person there, maybe they expected Faraday to be there only, and because the other person is there, like, you know, as a witness, they had to kill him as well. Wrong place, wrong time for the second person, but we'll see. KG8 incident. Now then, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the KG8 incident. It's not exactly a happy story. Other than the people who were directly involved, you two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell. The honest truth behind the KG8 incident. Faraday, you and I, as you already know, we three were involved with the KG8 incident. Faraday and I, we were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring. You mean the smuggling case involving one of the Amana Group's secretaries? That trial was just a front. A facade? Yeah, but the case became tainted. All because the witness who was going to testify about the Amana Group's ties to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed. Then what became of the secretary who was arrested? His name was Colin Devoret. So if you tuned in to the previous case, the previous episode, you notice that Colin Devoret, he was the secretary or the butler, which then became the butler to Mr. Amano. I think his name was Ernest Amano, right? Yeah, he was his secretary, then he did time, I think like 10 years. And then he came back, and I think he was more like a butler afterwards. His name was, as a butler, it wasn't Colin Devoret, it was a name that was rearranged, but I'm trying to remember what the name was. Oh boy, yeah, I can't remember the name. Was it C&D as well, or was it something else? I can't remember. No, it was Oliver Decor or something like that, right? I can't remember. I think it was like Oliver Decor, and we found out that if you rearrange Colin Devoret, you get Oliver Decor and vice versa. So yeah. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring, but he confessed to knowing about it anyways. Devoret was probably being intimidated by the big boss man. Just another scapegoat. The boss man of the Amano Group? He can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. That can't be right. It's probably just Detective Bad's personal hypothesis. What is he trying to do? Suspecting of Mr. Amano of being involved with smuggling? I suppose it would be quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he confessed. Oh yeah, and also for those who tuned into case 2, that case was to do with the smuggling ring as well, where one of the Interpol agents died as well in that one. So yeah, I really like the Ace Attorney games because they're kind of like linked to each other, whereas throughout the whole entire episode or throughout the whole entire trilogy or duology, whatever it is, if it's a 2 series games or 3 series games, how it's connected throughout the whole series. That's quite cool. I like that. So you know, if you haven't been following, sometimes it could be there's a bit of disconnect. For the actual case itself, sure, you'll be able to follow what's going on if you watched from the beginning, but there'll be some parts that may refer to the previous episodes because it's connected. That part will probably, you might have some difficulties with the disconnect and stuff, but just feel free to ask and I can try to connect the dots if I can remember correctly. I mean, it took quite a while for me to remember Oliver Decor's name, so we'll see if I can remember the previous cases. But the man who killed CCU, Manny Cochin, was a completely different person. But since he's already been acquitted once of her murder, Mr. Faraday, how could you have let him go? If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him. That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, CC, I was supposed to protect them both. Miss Yu did mention that as well, about how Detective Bad was supposed to guard her sister.
But even I, who was supposed to protect them, I fell into their trap.
What kind of trap?
The holes in this jacket are testaments to that trap.
Yeah, because I was thinking that, well, they're bullet shots or whatever, bullet holes, right? Like, did he manage to avoid the spray and pray? Well, who knows? Maybe we'll elaborate and continue further. You mean you were fired upon? Maybe these are either like wall spikes, but they seem more like bullet holes. What we'll see. You were shot at that many times in one gunfight?
No. Only about half of these are from that case.
So I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 8 holes. So 4 of them are from that case.
But the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself.
Okay, I saw one more, so that's 9.
Of the lesson that I learned from the KG8 incident. I see. I couldn't protect CCU, and the suspect was found not guilty. We had hit a brick wall as far as the law was concerned. And that's when she came to the courtroom, the victim's sister. That's when I first met Callisto Yu.
Okay, relations to you? About when you first met Ms. Yu. It was on the day of the verdict of the KG8 incident was handed down, was it not?
Yes. Faraday and I, we apologized to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do, but just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. And then she gave me a hard slap across the face.
Wow, she certainly had a lot of self-control to stop at just a slap. If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough.
I suppose not. You said it herself, that she never wanted to see either of us ever again.
But after that, you have seen her many times over, correct? Well, she's a defense attorney, of course you would, like, because he's a detective, you're bound to cross paths again. Unless you're from a different country or different, like, precinct or district or whatever, or city or whatever.
Yeah, Faraday and I, even after the KG8 incident had come to a close, we continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases, but the results were always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring.
Is the ring really that big?
It was in the pursuit of the ring that we met you once again. It was during another trial related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor, and I, as the lead detective, talked to the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as the defense attorney. Her client was related to the smuggling ring, and she was
her client was related to the smuggling ring? And she was defending them? Yeah, why was she bad for the other side? Especially if it's like someone that killed her could potentially be from the Mano group, or related to the smuggling ring and things.
Yeah. You was pursuing the ring as best she could as a lawyer.
Oh, right, I see. But hey, Gotham, how's he doing? How's it going? Hope you're doing well.
I think she defended Rel this time for the same reason.
Wait, is Rel this dude here? No, that's Manny Kochan. Who's Rel? Oh, him. Mackerel. Come to think of it, Miss Yu did say something to the same effect. She has her own agenda. Oh, maybe her own agenda is to do her own investigation of the whole smuggling ring thing and to find to get like kind of like justice for the death of her sister. Doing good. Got afternoon or so. Gonna work on some stuff to take to CX selling also. Oh yeah, because you said you're gonna sell your. I don't know if you have really your PS4 Pro, right? You're probably gonna sell your PS4 games as well then, I guess. Wait. Can you put your PS4 games disc inside the PS5? Does that work or no? I've got. I don't know. It should work, right? But maybe not. It works. Okay, cool. That's good. That's good to know as well. Oh, hey Ark, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome in. We're just playing a bit of Ace Attorney. Since this is a recap, I'm not going to read this again. Keeping PS4 games just console when yeah, that would make sense, yeah. Because you probably don't have any use for the PS4 since you got a PS5 like ages ago. It doesn't matter where her reason is. Helping a criminal is just despicable. You're so naive, little girl. Wait, where did the lollipop come from? Was it always in his mouth? I could have stolen this lollipop from you. That's how naive you are. How dare you insult the daughter of the Von Karma? Just like us, you felt that she had to hit the limit of what the law could do. That's all. The law is merely a tool. There is no limit to it, only the skill of the craftsman. You two are still too young, but one day you'll know what I mean. But enough sidetracking. What matter is that we met you again in the pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all. Alright. Let's show the perfume first and see what he has to say, because he gave it to us, right? So I wonder if he can talk about it. I'm not a big fan of perfume. So exactly what kind of relationship do you have with Miss Yu? Like I told you, we're connected through the victim of the KG8 incident, her younger sister. I was supposed to protect her, but I failed in my duties. Just another pathetic detective. After that, Koji's not guilty verdict sparked our pursuit of the case, me as a detective, and she as a lawyer. In other words, they're still working together. Okay. I don't know if that was worth doing that, but I guess there's some info from that. So what was your relations to Mr. Faraday? Have you played any of the Ace Attorney games, Arkfaith? You even seem to know Kay fairly well. I've met him, but when he was a rookie prosecutor, known him ever since. And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born. Faraday and I, we cracked quite a few cases together. But you two seem to have made no progress at all in the Yatakarasu case. Did we touch a nerve? I only have one thing to say to you. No one knew more about the Yatakarasu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial, to prove that Rel was not the real Yatakarasu.
which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After the accusation, I was asked to testify, but this time to prove or disprove the accusation. But I guess I won't be doing that either.
They're both dead. DED dead. I sense that there's more to that statement than meets the eye. Perhaps a bit more digging into the Yatagarasu is what's necessary. Okay, the Yatagarasu. You claim to know much about the Yatagarasu. Would you care to share what you know with me?
What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Rel.
I agree, which is exactly why I'm asking you about the Yatagarasu.
What?
The KG8 incident and this second KG8 incident. Both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring. And in both of these cases, the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there is one point in which they differ, and that is the presence or absence of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Mr. Rel claimed to be the Yatagarasu. However, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yatagarasu. Then during the recess, they were both killed. Yeah, could it be that the murderer, whether it's him or you as in Castillo you, not you as in chat you, could have been like one of them's like, fuck, you know, I don't fucking know who the real Yatagarasu is. I'm gonna just kill you both. You know, I'm sure it's one of you two, so it'll kill both of you. Then I'm surely I killed the real Yatagarasu, right? I think that's what probably they did. Like, you know, fuck it. I don't know who it is. I'll just kill you both. Then surely one of you guys, I killed the real one if I killed you both. Don't you find that to be the least bit odd? Miles Edgeworth, stop beating around the bush and just spit it out already. I believe that there must be some reason that the two men suspected of being the Yatagarasu were both killed at the same time.
A reason? Huh?
And so, in order to catch Mr. Faraday's and Mr. Rel's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yatagarasu.
If it will help you solve this case.
Okay, so he's going to tell us that. Oh my gosh, I just realized. So that white stick in his mouth wasn't a cigarette, it was actually a lollipop. Okay, that makes much more sense now. I'm a bit slow, brain lag as usual.
Then I'll tell you. I'll tell you the reason why we've never caught the Yatagarasu.
What was that sudden outburst for? You almost made me whip you by accident. Of course, so then she whips us instead. Oh, I just realized we're in the wrong freaking category. Why does it keep... Oh yeah, I know why it does that, but yeah. Let me change that right away. Ace... Attorney... Investigation... Miles Edgeworth. It's a good thing I just noticed that just now, because we could have done it for the, like, throughout the whole stream, like last time. I think when we was doing case 3 or case 2, it said we were playing demos, games and demos throughout the whole stream. Yeah, no one was able to. I think no one looked at the category, so no one actually knew or saw it until much later on. I think one of my mods mentioned to me right at the end of the stream. I was like, well, it's too late now. Like, you know, we streamed the whole game already, the whole session. It still accidentally whipped me anyway.
There are 3 main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind ever. So this isn't the... So I'm just saying, is he trying to... I know he's giving us some stuff about the Yatagarasu, but I'm wondering, could it be possible that the Yatagarasu was the one who did the killing? But I don't think so, because there were like... It seemed like there were some clues left behind, whereas here he said that there's no single shred of evidence. Because I thought he would have killed him cleanly. But yeah, I do think Faraday is the Yatagarasu, potentially, because in the previous case, the little girl, Kay, she was like claimed to be like the second generation of the Yatagarasu. So she could have, like, you know, taken it from her dad. I see. So those are the Yatagarasu special traits. Sounds like an incredible elusive thing. The Yatagarasu has never been caught on tape, never tries to draw anyone's attention, and would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. That's what I thought as well, so that's why I thought it can't be them, because normally they just steal, they're like Robin Hood. So I feel... Yeah, I still think, for some reason, I still think it's the defense attorney. If it's not the defense attorney, then it's this guy. But I don't know, because the thing is, right, we don't see him anymore when we played Phoenix Wright and the early onset of this game series. This one, the Miles Edgeworth game. We don't see Bad at all anymore in the first 3 cases. So could it have been him and then he went to prison? Because every single time we see Gumshoe, or not him now, Gumshoe is the one who's technically, like, do I dare say, leading like the police side of things. That's how I knew that Rare wasn't the real Yatagarasu right away. But you said you can't, that sort of logic on its own, to prove that he wasn't. Listen, little girl, I'm not done talking yet. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kodopian embassy. I'm not gonna lie to you, I keep thinking it's Copium, but Kodopian. The Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu sent the evidence? Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I and a select few others knew about. In that case, how can you be so sure that it was the Yatagarasu who sent it? That's easy. A special card that only the Yatagarasu uses was attached. So kind of like the calling card. I think of the Phantom Thieves in Persona 5 when that happens. That's how I can be so sure. Just what sort of card is it? Yeah, it sounds like when there's a calling card, I think of Phantom Thieves on Persona 5. Here, take a look at this article. Whenever the bad Yatagarasu wants to publicize something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information. But when we questioned Rail about what was sent along with the white card, Rail had no idea what it was. Yeah, speaking of Persona, I need to go back and continue playing Persona 3 Fez. It's been a while since I played Persona 3. Probably a few weeks now. I'm really early into the game. I'm probably like a few hours into the game. I'll get around to playing it again later. We'll see. Just need to find time. Ah, and that's how Detective Bad knew that Mr. Rail was a phony. Thank you very much
I have a much better understanding of the Yatagarasu now. Okay. Guess we progressed. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? His Honor would like you to transfer the evidence from today's trials over to you. So if you could please head over to the courtroom, I'll be much appreciated, sir. Understood. I'll be there shortly. Detective Bad? What does the law mean to you?
Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive.
I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself, and to play a part in ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty. September 10, District Court, Courtroom Number 3.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth.
It appears that His Honor is still a bit dispirited.
For the first time today, I experienced that it's like what it's like to stand at the witness stand. I now have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give testimony.
Well, there's no reason for that to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. As a judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict. Francisco, there's no need to further depress His Honor. But I'm not trying to, Miles. Your Honor? Your Honor? I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me.
Who?
Your Honor? The evidence?
I.
Your Honor.
You. Yes. Can I help you?
I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir. Your Honor, do you think you can stay focused long enough to at least do your job?
Yes, I'm sorry. And I would accept that the defense attorney has yet to arrive.
She is busy with the investigation, so let's keep this brief, shall we?
Very well. In that case, please confirm that all the pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence the evidence that was used in the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rowell are also included, so please go ahead and use them in your investigation into their case.
Understood, Your Honor. The pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of those two men. This could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding their case. And maybe even something that will finally lead me to the truth.
I've placed all the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you.
I see. Thank you very much. I will go and confirm that they are all accounted for. See, this is what I don't understand. I thought we stood on the left when we was playing Finish Right Ace Attorney, and we're a defense attorney, and that the prosecutor stands on the right. So with him saying that he put it on the prosecutor's side, the prosecutor's bench, why is that on the left this time round? Interesting. Is it because like no matter what game we've played, we always stand on the left? So when we were Phoenix Wright, or whenever we get around to playing Apollo Justice, well, we need to get that game first, we will stand on the left, whether a defense attorney or a prosecutor, and then the other side will stand on the right. Maybe. Yeah, it's always left. Yeah, that's what I thought as well, because it would be nice if we actually stood on the right for this game to keep it consistent, but I guess they kept it the other consistency by making us as a player to stand on the left. Oh, so we can walk around. Okay, let's go to the table, to the bench. So this is the evidence related to today's Codopian embassy trial from Mr. Faraday's bag. You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 2, right? Yes, finally, we can now take a look at the evidence itself, and not just that data about them. Wait, sorry. No, I'm just thinking about it now. It could be the perspective. It could be the camera angle. Like maybe we're on the left because you know how this camera is on the side of the person who's on the witness stand, you know, taking testimony, right? That's why prosecutor's on the left and the defense attorney is on the right. Could it be that when we played Ace Attorney, could it have been possible that the camera angle that we're used to was taken on the other side? So the side of the judge. So therefore the defense attorney looks like it's on the left and the prosecutor's on the right. That could be the reason why as well. Because I remember, because sometimes because you know when we play the game, when we see the testimony and stuff like that, we always see the witness or the culprit stand in front of us, right? And then I think the camera angle will go to the left, and then we will see Phoenix right, and then the camera angle will go to the right, and then you'll see the prosecutor. Maybe because the camera angle is on the other side, that's why the defense attorney looks like it's on the left and the prosecutor's on the right. Yeah, it could be, yeah. It's on the other side. Whereas this camera angle is from the witness stand side. That could be it, yeah. I don't know, we'll see. It's either it is one consistent, or two, they want to make the player always on the left. We'll see. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time. Yeah, because we get the person on the stand, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I haven't watched shows like Law and Order and stuff like that, you know. I played the game Law and Order, that was a good game. It was a hard game though, it was a good game. But yeah, I wonder if Law and Order is a good show to watch. Agree. I want to take a good look at all of the evidence from the embassy murder too. And why is that? I remember watching a Korean drama called, I think it was called Lawyer. That was a good show as well. I learned a thing or two, especially self-defense, because you can. There's like a fine line between self-defense and just outright, you know, assault. And I think from that show, I learned that once you obviously there's a reason for the self-defense, right? And whatever said reason is no longer present, it technically no longer becomes self-defense, and then it becomes anything you do afterwards will become like assault or battery, or potentially even worse, like murder or whatever, or manslaughter and stuff like that. So yeah, because I remember in that drama the teacher was asking, the law teacher was asking, so did this person do anything wrong? And a lot of people was like, no, he did the right thing, you know. Some guy was like, you know, SAing a person, and he came and intervened and he stopped, right? Yeah, and he's like, that's correct, he stopped them, but there was a point where he was no longer doing it. That's when, and he was like arguing, that's not, because that was a point where he was no longer doing it, and everything was like diffused and everything. That's when he should have stopped. Because he carried on, it became assault or battery or whatever. And I was like, I mean, the law is always a bit finicky. It's quite hard to determine what is justice and what is right and what is not. So I'm not gonna say, oh, the law is stupid or whatever. But yeah, when it comes to something like that, yeah, like even when someone's trying to like rob someone or assaulting someone, you stop them. Like say you fling them off the person, so they're onto the ground somewhere, or the sidewalk, the pavement, or the road or whatever. Okay, maybe not use a road example because they can get run over, but like somewhere else, right, on the pavement, and technically, according to the law, because you flung him over to the pavement, as long as he's not going to approach you or the person that he was trying to attack, everything's done, like done and dusted, right? It's gone, like it's been kind of like quote unquote diffused, right? So anything you do afterwards technically could be considered not self-defense, and therefore becomes like battery or assault or whatever, right? But you could just like literally like manhandle that person so they could stop to make sure they can't do it again in the next like brief moment. But I don't think the law sees it that way. But yeah, I remember watching the Cage Army. He was trying to explain that to us. So I was like, okay, that's interesting, because I don't necessarily fully agree or see it that way. But if the law sees it that way, then the law sees it that way. It was quite interesting. Because I don't want to spoil the drama, because something happened, and one of the lawyers was trying to argue that it wasn't self-defense, and obviously the defense attorney was trying to argue that it was self-defense. But yeah, I think the Korean law is corrupt. Yeah, if watching all these Korean dramas and stuff, it's always like the commissioner or the superintendent or whatever it is, someone high up in the police things is so corrupting. He tells the people, yeah, someone makes a call, someone high up makes a call, like some sort of like gang or boss or whatever, right? We'll make a call, and he'll be like, yeah, it's okay, okay, I got it. You know, and I saw, I'll speak to my men and be like, men, stand down, turn a blind eye, you didn't see anything, okay? Guys, you didn't see anything. And then all the police force would like have to like pretend they didn't see it, or like the files wherever got lost, conveniently lost, or any of the lab reports were then like fraudulent. So it was like 99.999% negative. Like when they're trying to use it as evidence, right? It's negative. It's not correct. It's wrong. Yeah. There's no evidence to suggest that it belongs to this person. It's 99% negative and stuff like that. It's so unrealistic. Juvenile is a really good K-drama, but quite hard to watch. Basically, I'm ill or self-defense. Oh well, never mind. Yeah. Oh yeah, as in like some people always plead that they're mentally unstable, or plead insanity. That's why they did it. But yeah. Like I said, when I was watching it, I didn't fully agree, but I guess the law is the law. What can you do? But I remember asking with lawyer people, and they pretty much said the same thing as well. Once that reason, that trigger or that cue for self-defense is no longer present, then it no longer becomes self-defense. Like for example, if someone had like a lead pipe and was about to whack you, so you somehow managed to apprehend the lead pipe or whatever, and you either threw it away or you kept it like on you or by you, and it prevented him from accessing the lead pipe, and he doesn't seem any more aggressive, then that's when the self-defense is done. You can't try to clap him back because it's no longer self-defense apparently, right? Or something like that. It is what it is, but apparently it's like that also here in the West as well. It's just like the law is still similar, so you can't hit someone afterwards because he's no longer deemed a threat. There was one I think we hyped over last summer. A woman goes to a country home, kills a kid, gets away with it. Yeah, it's not just a Korean law. It's over here in England and America. It's the same thing. It's the same. The Frog. I don't think I've heard of that. The name itself sounds funny. The Frog. But yeah, in the UK, US laws is exactly the same thing. Like once you get rid of the weapon, is no longer a self-defense, and you hit the person, then you're gonna get charged with battery. You're the one that's gonna get arrested, even though the other person was trying to hit you first, because you hit them. You're the one that's gonna get into trouble. Even in England, the UK, it's like that as well, and America. Because I remember I've spoken to some lawyers, or some people who studied law at least, and they said the same thing. Yeah, so once you get rid of the weapon and they don't seem to be aggressive or a threat to you anymore, but if you hit them, you're the one in trouble. And so I think it's a global law than just Korean law. because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about. Ugh. Don't you point your crop at me just because you don't know something. And don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today. I see someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Cornwall. I mean, she's so young though. Does she think that she's much better than us? Like, I can't remember how old we are. I think we said we're 17 and she's 13. So we got 4 years more experience than her probably. And so, you know, it's wild that a 13-year-old kid thinks they're better than us, even though we're 4 years older. But it is what it is. I respect her confidence. I respect her confidence. It's also real to see the knife up so close. So we have the knife, the gun, an envelope, and what's this organizer doing here? Yeah, we didn't know nothing about the organizer. Whose organizer is that?
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot to tell you.
About what, Your Honor?
They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside the evidence bag of his. Detective Badge requested it to be passed along to you. He said it would help the investigation.
Detective Badge said that? What a strange stroke of luck. Well, never look a gift horse in the mouth. We might as well flick through it too. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious... Oh, he always says this, I don't need to read this. Okay, so let's have a look at the... I ain't gonna lie to you, I kinda wanna... what can we click on? Is it just these 4 things? Anything else? No. Alright, let's look on the gun. Always the gun. There's nothing unusual about this area. What do you mean? Oh, sorry. This gun. It was originally used to kill the Codopian embassy staff member when the crime was reported. The responding police force, Mr. Rell found Mr. Rell still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest. And then his gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic. Ironic. Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence. Okay, so I guess there's no point, we can't pick it up and rotate or whatever like that. How about the knife? Can we pick it up and rotate? It's a knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. Who would have thought that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act? And it never crossed your mind that you use your riding crop for the wrong purpose. That is true, because that horse whip thing, she keeps whipping us. Let's do the organizer. Mr. Faraday's organizer. It appears he was in the habit of using it. It looks like he wrote his strategy for getting Mr. Rell convicted down in here. I've collected the evidence I need to prove that Rell was the killer. Between the handgun Rell had on him when he was arrested and the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove that he was the one. Okay. It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed that Mr. Rell was the killer in the case. The sound of the handgun going off was recorded with superb clarity on the surveillance video. I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rell is not the real Yatakarasu. And it also appeared that he had proof that Mr. Rell was not the Yatakarasu. No matter how he may try to play it, as long as I have the Yatakarasu key, I can prove he's a phony. If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up. And he apparently also had a very definitive piece of evidence. It's been a long battle, but I hope this will finally bring it to an end. Yes, I believe that Mr. Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Rell may have made about being the real Yatakarasu. And he had a way to prove that Mr. Rell was the guilty party in the embassy murder. This organizer is a clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I have to take my time and give it a thorough read later. Okay. Look, there's a picture stuck between these pages here. It appears to be a key. And a rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle. Didn't that design kind of look a bit like the knife design? The handle of the knife. The craftsmanship is superb.
Could this be the Yatagarasu key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer? Wait, so if he got the knife and he got the key and they look very similar in terms of wooden, the type of wood, and maybe design-wise, then could it mean, possibly be that Mr. Faraday is actually indeed the Yatagarasu? The Yatagarasu's key? Detective Bad said something earlier.
We read this already, so no need to read it out loud again. Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep the secret key safe. As the prosecutor on both the Yatagarasu and the smuggling ring case, that has to be expected. Okay. That's odd. What is it? Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer. That certainly is odd. The weapon that was used to kill the Koldofian embassy staff member was a gun. But if that's the case, then where did the knife that was used to murder Mr. Faraday come from? Isn't it obvious? It was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Rell. Is it really Mr. Rell's that brought it? That's the only logical conclusion, right? No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Yeah, because that's what I thought. I thought this is why I was surprised about the gun thing, but if the gun was actually evidence and was used to kill the Kodopian embassy staff, so the gun was on as evidence, right? So was probably in the evidence pile. So that kind of makes sense, because from my understanding, I would have imagined that when going into a courtroom, there's got to be like either one, metal detectors, or two, staff members patting down and like stopping and searching people and patting people down, right, to make sure you're not concealing a weapon. So how that knife got through is crazy. So if it is a pattern procedure, it could very well be that the knife was hidden inside somewhere, was concealed somewhere, and like, people were patting or looking at the items for okay. So for example, imagine it was like a mirror. You've got those foldable mirrors, whatever, where there's like a little secret compartment where you can hide the knife in that your average person wouldn't know, right? They might open it, say okay, it's just a mirror, and then put it away. But it's, had they not looked diligently, they probably wouldn't have known there's like a secret compartment where you could hide a knife, a dagger in, or whatever. I guess that could have happened, I guess, and that's how he got the knife in. But assuming that there is no metal detector, but yeah, who knows? Every person who enters the courthouse doors is checked thoroughly for contraband. Yeah, okay, so they probably are patted down, and they go through, they rummage and search through their bags and possessions and stuff like that. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside. Yeah, so which goes to show that maybe it's possible that someone must have like climbed through the window. Like I said, if I remember correctly from the previous stream, that the bars that we saw wasn't like barred like literally outside the window to prevent people from climbing out and climbing in. I think it looked like it was bars, like a balcony type of bars, so you can go out a bit, and they probably like crawled or walked across the balcony from one lobby to the other lobby and did a killing then, because both windows were open. And I think they use it as a mask of the perfume smell being too strong and pungent to open the defendant lobby's one windows. That's just a cover-up. In that case, how do you suppose this knife ended up in the courthouse? Yeah, this is what I'm trying to figure out as well. I think either one, the Popo, maybe the Popo aren't stopped and searched because they all carry guns and weapons and stuff like that, right? So we just assumed that they have weapons. That's why the metal detector pops off and stuff like that. And maybe one of them had the knife on them. I don't know, we'll see. I need to think carefully here.
There is nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is in fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there is one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one has claimed to have seen today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I will need to take another good look at the evidence. Miles Edgeworth, can I take the fact that you have yet to answer me to mean that you don't have an answer for me? Actually, I do know the answer, Francisca. What? Then what is it? One of the pieces of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. And it was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse. Yeah, because when you look at this design, we can't zoom in, it looks very similar to the key which do we have it? Can you see the design of the key? I know it's not like for like, because there is I don't know if you want to call it a butterfly. There is some design down the middle, but if you look at the color and the type of the wood, it looks like, and then you got some designs like on the edges of the handles, right, on both sides, whether they're leaves or Christmas lights or whatever, you know. You see some sort of, or chilies, peppers or whatever, you see that kind of design there, right? And if you look at the knife, they too have like very similar designs. It's not exactly the same, but they too have some similar design. So instead of the butterfly flowery looking thing down the middle, it looks like it's a vine of some sort. I don't know on the sides, again similarly it has some sort of design. They don't look like Christmas lights or leaves or whatever, or peppers. We can't zoom in, so we can't tell. I don't know if those are butterfly wings or whatever, half of a butterfly wing or not. But the wood itself, they look very similar, right, in terms of color and stuff. I wonder if those two are connected in some way. So I want to click on this, but I don't know if this is right. But yeah, I'm gonna click on this. Take that! Take that! I don't see how that answers my question at all. Every piece of evidence has some secretive aspects about it. Oh, then I demand to know what the secret is to this one. Sorry guys, hold on a sec. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back now.
Ugh. Oh crap. Alright. Maybe there is no secret to this one. I need to think carefully here. There is nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there is one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one— oh shit, I got it wrong. Alright, so I'm sorry, it's not this knife. I meant to click on this.
Take that!
I'm dumb. Oh, hi Jivy, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. This Yatakarasu key, Mr. Faraday is mentioned in his organizer. I'm your true Sean son. I have the right to your will. Take that. I'm going for dinner. Okay, no worries, Jivy. Enjoy noms. Thanks for being here. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse. You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth. You just need to look a little bit closer, Francisco, to see what I mean. Don't the colour and the ornamentation of the key handles remind you anything? Oh, sorry, that's exactly what I said. It looks very similar to the knife. So I was right on the money with this. They do remind me of the knife. Very good. Both the Yatakarasu key in this photo and the murderous knife have this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Yatakarasu key, the only object we found at the crime scene was the knife. You don't seriously mean to say? I don't know what he's getting at the moment. I mean, I think they're connected, but I don't think this key is also a knife, right? No, because the shape of the design of the... Because you can see like the handle of the key isn't the same shape of the knife, so I don't think it is. I mean, it's probably from the same wood and same type. They're related somehow, but I'm trying to figure out what the connection is right now, and that's the only connection I can think of. So I don't know what Miles Edgeworth is getting at the moment, but we'll see. And yes, I do mean to say that these two pieces are in fact one and the same. But that's impossible. Even if that's what you believe, we should still investigate this possibility. Now then, let us examine this knife in a little more detail. Wait, so you tell me this is a key? What is this? Okay. Blood. It is the weapon that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. The handle and the blade itself both have beautiful design worked into them. Look, there's even a flower-shaped design in this gold section here. If this hadn't been used as a tool of murder, I want it for myself. She seems to be drawn to the embellishment. Too bad this isn't mine to give. Okay, so I'm guessing it must be this part of the handle. Is this a button? Oh, wait. This thing looks like it's going to come out. So is it the thing where it flips or slides out? And that's a part of the key? Oh. That's pretty cool. I didn't see that. So the handle, even though the shape of it looks different, but oh snap. So you know how like the other design I said that on the sides it looks like butterfly wings? So yeah, if you put a line through the middle and then we undo it, the wings actually connect to each other to look like a sorry, the wings are going to be separate, so it looks like on both ends. And the edges on the handles, when they are together, it looks like a vine that I was saying. because those leaves on the edge will touch each other, be touching, and obviously the thing in the middle will be like a vine. Okay, that's actually quite cool, quite smart. Yeah, that kind of threw me off a bit as well. I mean, sure, the shape of it is a bit weird, but that makes sense. That's actually quite cool. I like that. Maybe be a bit too easy if it's like a straight line rather than it being like squiggly. I can't believe it turned into a key. To think there was such a trick to this thing. So the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key that Yatagarasu stole. This piece of information is more critical than anything we learned up until now. That's sick. Frankly, I'm shocked. So yeah, so that thing down the middle gets separated, and the thing on the edge will get connected, and that's what makes it into a butterfly, and the vine becomes separate leaves. I like that. I like that a lot. Cool. Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible that he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside. But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday. Yeah, so who knows? Who knows that? Didn't Detective Bad said that there was some stuff that only Faraday, him, and a select handful of others, I'm assuming Castillo knows about. So it could be maybe one of those two still, because they knew about the key turning into a knife. Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than even Mr. Faraday, meaning that the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place, the great thief Yatagarasu. That maybe Mr. Rao really was the Yatagarasu, and he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that one possible scenario? No, not really, especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rao was not the Yatagarasu. Besides, as Detective Bad said earlier, at the calling card again, the Phantom Thieves. I see. Alright then. I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else, and that person is the real Yatagarasu. It seems that this key is truly the key to solving this case. I see what he did there. This is something I appreciate and approve. This key is truly the key to solving this case. I like that. Okay, I guess last one is the folder. What's inside the folder? I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started. Well, I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it. I suppose I'll just explain it to you then. Yes, you should. Perfectly and in its entirety, if you please. On the night of September the 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Mackerel was brought in that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned. Yeah, Mackerel, he was being fishy, that's why he was brought into question. Because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot. A simpleton of a man, that's what he was. I think you also appreciate the name of these kind of knives then. Yeah, butterfly knives, yeah. I used to play Counter-Strike, and the butterfly knives do look nice. Because I never owned one in Counter-Strike, because those ones are rare, right? You can only get them from those loot boxes. And I never paid for the keys to open those crates, those loot boxes. But yeah, some of my friends had those crazy butterfly knives that cost like somewhere between 50 to £100 or whatever, if you was to sell them on the Steam store, the Steam market. Yeah, but those butterfly knives are cool. Yeah, how they're like, you know, when they do that spinning tricks and stuff like that some people do or can do. I think in a game you can do that as well when it comes to inspecting the knives. But yeah, those butterfly knives are cool. I like the intricate design and how it's like you can fold it out and then fold it in and stuff like that. Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Rell was caught in the act on film by a security camera. He was even bigger simpleton than I thought. I can't believe he didn't notice a security camera. The Kodopian embassy security system is supposedly very well designed. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area. So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself? Wait, I thought you said it's shot in the heart. That looks like he was shot in the back. Yes, the surveillance video the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Rell on there. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear. So the footage included sound, huh? I don't think I ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life. Me neither. That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence. And the piece that's missing is the surveillance video that was played in court. The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? The video showing the moment in which Mr. Rell committed the murder. Where could it have gone indeed? Yeah, where's it gone?
Are you done with your inspections of the evidence?
Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I'm missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence. Your Honor, were you derelict in your duties?
What? No, I dare not lick my duties. What do you take me for?
Judge, please. No, Your Honor, the most important piece of evidence in today's trial. The surveillance video is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me.
But I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene.
Oh, did someone kill them both and took the video? The killer took the video. There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear that for me to find the answer I seek, I will have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime. Defendant lobby number 2. Okay, guess we gotta go back here then. Ooh, do you think the tape is size of? Do you think it was? Do you think that they couldn't put it back inside their persons because it's too obvious? So what they did is they sneakily put inside the VHS tape. And why does that guy look like Lang? Oh no, I gave him an Asian accent. Oh no. September 10th, 6 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. If that's Lang, then we're gonna have to give him an Asian accent. That's Detective Bad. Who's he with? I've never seen that officer before.
So, did you find it?
Okay, I'm not gonna give it yet, just in case it's not him, but it does look like him. I'm just giving my normal voice for the time being. No, not yet, and I've looked everywhere.
I see. Well then, please continue with the search.
Understood. I'll continue to search. So you're the one running this show. Prosecutors like you shouldn't even be allowed at crime scene. How dare you? Just who do you think you are? Please don't say Lang. Oh, he just walked off. Good. What was that all about? And who was that man just now? Whoever he was, I'd never seen a more impudent officer in my life. Does he even know that we're standing right here behind him?
I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kids?
It looks like you were paying attention after all. It's got the eyes at the back of his head, right?
Of course I was. I have eyes in the back of my head.
Oh my gosh, he said what I was thinking out loud. Oh my word, okay. I didn't write the script, guys. Honest. Ah, so that mirror isn't for vanity's sake. It's for him to keep an eye out on who or what is behind him at all times. Pac being mind read by the game. Yeah, I think I do think I mean there's a meme saying that I work for Hoyoverse, I work for RGG, I work for Sega, I work for Capcom, but yeah, I don't work for them. It's just that I do find some games are a bit predictable. So tell me, Detective Bad, who was that rude man just now?
The guy came from the Republic of Jengfa to study. He's Ancient Lang.
Oh, there's him. It's like, oh no, we're gonna have to use the Asian accent. Oh no.
He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family. He's traveling the world to study different philosophies of detainment from scratch.
By visiting various police departments around the world, he has a lot of dedication.
He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge of some sort from him. The guy's more useful than Gumshoe. Oof, even if he's rude.
Oof, feels bad for Gumshoe. Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come to this country and give prosecutors a hard time. I agree. However, I can think of one young lady that statement also applies to. Anyways, what was that agent looking for, Detective Bad? Earlier, that little girl was poking around in lobby number 1 as well.
Like I said before, it's got nothing to do with you two.
I highly doubt that it has nothing to do with me. Fine. If this is a game I must play, then I will take this opportunity to draw out what he's been hiding and what happened in this room straight from him. Is investigation time then? Okay, so I want to see if could it be here. That is one tiny TV. Is that tiny? That still looks big to me. Detective Gumshoe was rather shocked at this and said it is huge compared to his own. Yeah, then Gumshoe must have a tiny TV. Ha! Anything you compare with something he owns will always seem grandiose. Speaking of grandiose, I say that ego of yours could use a little deflating. Roasted. Okay, so it's not in the VHS tape. Sorry, VHS player. Okay. Let's speak to him then. Earlier, you were in lobby number 1, and now you're here in lobby number 2. You are quite the busy man, Detective Bad.
Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what we detectives say.
I see. If that's the case, you wouldn't mind if I asked about what happened again, correct?
I don't have anything left to say to you, boy.
Ugh. Boy? You'll see. I will draw my answer from you, one way or another. Would it kill you to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation?
I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. That's help enough, don't you think?
Please, we are asking you for a bit more of your cooperation.
Don't push me, kid.
Time of the murder? I'd like to ask you once again about what happened around here at the time of the crime.
I refuse to answer. Any more investigating you do would be a waste of time. Besides, How am I supposed to answer questions about things I don't know about? Things you don't know about? But aren't you supposed to know everything? He should... Wait, is it possible? Maybe he doesn't know about the trick behind that piece of evidence. I should try showing it to him. If he doesn't know, then I'm guessing maybe Castillo Yu knows. It may prove to be the key to getting some answers from Detective Bad. Okay, if he doesn't know, you could say he's bad at his job. Sorry, you said responding to a DM. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to present the thing to him. The key. Can we present? Does he know about this? Detective Bad, did you know of the existence of the item in this photograph?
Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagarasu case.
In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and this Yatagarasu key are one and the same?
What? That's impossible.
It looks like he didn't know after all. This piece of evidence, which we call the Yatagarasu key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Yes, from his reaction, it doesn't look like Detective Bad knew at all. Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yatagarasu key to prove that Mr. Rel was not the real Yatagarasu. Isn't that correct?
I guess so.
However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was, in fact, a knife. Wait, if he had no idea himself, then how can he be the Yatagarasu then? I mean, that's what Mackerel accused of Faraday being the Yatagarasu. But we thought he was the Yatagarasu because later on, the previous case, Kay Faraday, Mr. Faraday's daughter, claims that she's the new Yatagarasu and that her dad was one and was passed down to her. Interesting. Yeah, I have to admit, neither one of us knew that fact. And if neither of us knew, then no one in law enforcement knew either. How do we miss something as big as this? I've noticed that since a little while ago, you appear to be searching for something. I presume that this key is what you were searching for.
Yeah, that's right.
And why were you searching for it?
Because I promised Faraday. I promised that I'll protect that key with my life. But after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that the key is what took Faraday's life?
Detective Bad, so that we may find the truth, please testify for me once more.
Alright, but it doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened, nothing will change.
Okay. Time of the murder. Detective Bad, I ask that you please testify once more. So even if he told me about the time and stuff like that, because we played this last week, the first case last week. So the first part of this case last week. I can't remember anything about timings and stuff. Maybe this will help us in some way. No, I can't remember what time Gumshoe heard the gunshot and stuff like that. Fuck. Okay, so it's approximately 4 o'clock. Okay.
because someone was saying, oh man, I forgot now. Shit. This is the downside about not playing it like back to back, like the following day or in one go, because you tend to forget stuff. Unless I'd taken notes and I could have read the notes. Oh crap, okay. Never mind. Yeah, because someone said, it was a contradiction, right? Someone said they were waiting, might have been Bad himself, waiting in the lobby and heard the gunshot near the, it might have been a judge actually, it was a judge I think. He heard the gunshot near the end of the recession, where someone said it was like halfway through the recession. That was like 20 minutes before the recession. I think it was a judge that said 20 minutes before the session and recession, and someone said at the end of the recession, and because of that there's two contradictions. It turns out that the sound that the judge heard was a balloon popping and not an actual gun sound. But yeah, let's see what time it is and see what Detective Bad has to say now about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1.
My answer is still the same. And this is the last time I'm going to do this.
That's fine, because I only need this one last time to clear everything up and find the truth behind this case. Okay, what's he gonna say? Detective Bad's movement.
I was in lobby number 1 talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about. It was Bad that said he heard the gunshot right before the recession, like coming back to the sorry, right at the end of the recession, and they were going to go back into end of recess and going back into the court trial. Whereas the judge heard it 20 minutes before, but we established that that was a balloon popping, not a gunshot. So maybe what Bad's saying is the truth. Okay.
When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed out into the hallway together. I saw Gumshoes goofing around there, and then we ran into lobby number 2.
I think it's possible that maybe you killed. I feel like there could be a time where you killed the person, then went back to defendant lobby number 1. Because I think from conversation earlier, we established that they weren't exactly together at all times. And you was by herself and he was by himself for a brief moment of time before he went inside lobby number 2. Sorry, lobby number 1. So it could have been possible that you was there in lobby number 1 first, done the deed, went over to lobby 2, outside the window, outside the building, climbed out along the balcony rail thing, and jumped into lobby number 2, did the deeds, went back out and back into lobby number 1 via outside the rails, the balcony thing, because I'm guessing he was in the hallway. So she could have done that, and then she spilled the perfume, then like left the window open. So then let it cook a bit, you know, let it marinate a bit, the perfume. So then when he came inside, he'd be like, oh, whoo-wee, what is this strong perfume smell? He's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I spilled perfume. I opened the window to try to, like, you know, get it to diffuse away and into the outside. And that's an excuse, the window being opened, which obviously we know she could have opened the window to do the killing, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't think there's any contradiction yet, so I'm gonna press and ask questions. It sounds like the exact same story he told us before. Indeed, however, I feel that we have yet to draw out all the information that we can. Okay, so when he's saying draw out all the information, that means basically to press to gain more information, more information.
Allez.
Okay. What are the trivial things? I was hoping you could expand on what exactly you were discussing with Miss Yu.
trivial stuff. It was nothing important. That's for me to decide. Is he gonna tell us? Alright. I suppose that's for him to decide. Moving on then. Okay, I guess it's for him to decide. Okay. Never mind. Okay, gunshot, okay.
Hold it!
Let's ask this one then. Until you heard the gunshots, did you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary? I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot. If the gunshot Detective Bad heard was really the one from the murder, that would give the other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. I ask that you please amend your testimony with that statement just now. I'm thinking, could it be possible that he heard the balloon pop as well? Or was it an actual gunshot? He's a detective. Surely he can differentiate a balloon popping sound and a gunshot sound, right? And also, I wonder. This is what I mentioned in the previous stream, like last week when I was doing this case. I've watched a lot of movies and shows in Asia and in the West that apparently you can put stuff in front of a gun and it can kind of like become like a makeshift ad hoc silencer. Like I've seen people using like milk cartons that had milk inside. I've seen like pillows. I've seen loads of stuff where they use it, right? Literally put it in front of the gun, fire the gun, and it acts like a silencer. So could it be possible that someone who's like well versed with guns might know this and actually done it as well? Because what I wonder, I'm surprised, like sure you heard a gunshot, but not just the gunshot, like surely if you was to get London styled, aka stabbed or knifed, surely you would scream or make a loud shout like an uproar. But he never said anything about he heard someone screaming in pain or shouting in pain. I'm telling you, I mean, I've never been stabbed before, but I would imagine that if, I mean, when I cut myself, sometimes I'd be like, oh fuck, or like, you know, motherfucker, or whatever, like, oh you bitch, you know, you would say something really loud, right? But no one heard any noises. And surely if you're in the hallway outside the lobby, surely you would hear someone shout and scream in pain when they got stabbed. Again, unless you've had like some sort of cloth over their mouth or gagged them to prevent them from making really loud noises, surely you would. Hi T, thank you so much for the 2 years. You know what that means then, you know, 24 months is a multiple of 6. So you get a Bokomaru request. I don't know how many, is that another one that is on the ever-growing list, right? I think you got a few now, right? Let me check the list. How many do you have? How many do I owe you? Okay, let's look at your name. IT. Okay, so you requested Chu-Yuan from Zenizon 0. Okay, let me just do the find function. Yeah, I owe you 1. Oh shoot. Okay. Okay, I guess I owe you. Okay, I owe you 1 for the during my break, and then I guess I owe you another 4. Okay, I owe you actually 4. Okay, let me just copy and paste this in. Okay, so in total I owe you 5 now. Okay. So let me say it's IT. So yeah, you've got 4 Bokomaru requests to give to me. But yeah, take your time. So that's 5 in total. So you can request 5 of them. No, it's not 2. So yeah. So the first one was during my break. You know how I took like I don't know how long, like 5-month break or whatever. And because you were sub to 2 months of those, even though I took a break, those were 2 that you get. And because you're sub for 2 years, that's 4 6 months, right? So you get another 4 on top of that. So it's actually 5 now.
I didn't know I had a big of a backlog. Looks like my games backlog. Yeah, so you got 5. So take your time, like, you know. Right now, there's only 2 in the queue. Let me link you the backlog, the requests and stuff like that, in case. And this goes out for all the other people as well who I owe as well. So yeah. So if you go to the catalog and queue, is basically all the ones I've drawn so far, fan arts of, Pokemon versions of. So you know, obviously to prevent repetitions and stuff like that. And on the right are the queues. So right now there is no one on the stream queue. That's why I streamed art yesterday, last night. I did working on the thumbnails stuff and not a Pokemon request. And I got 2 to do off stream. So I've got 2 One Piece characters to do off stream. So yeah, take your time, figure out what you want to do. You got 5 now, so you know you can pick and choose who you want. Just note that I have done Kiryu from Yakuza, and I've done the line art for Ichiban from Yakuza, Like a Dragon, I guess. So don't request Kiryu or Ichiban. I think, did I write Ichiban? Ichiban should be there somewhere, right? Maybe? No, because it isn't finished yet. I've only done the line art, but yeah, Ichiban's been done already. Yeah, I don't want you to waste your request by requesting Ichiban, because then it literally means me just coloring it in. So yeah. And again, also, when you do DM me your request, let me know if you want me to do it on stream or off stream. I know because of time zones and stuff like that, I'll try to accommodate during your availability. So yeah, I don't mind during around this time, for example, or a bit earlier in the morning, where you're awake and stuff like that. So yeah, if you do want me to do on stream, so you can watch it. And as usual, I will record the time lapse or make a time lapse video of it with a voiceover, me voicing over it with like a personal message, a thank you message. And yeah, you'll get a unlisted YouTube link for you to watch it, as well as the actual art piece itself. So yeah, because I'll be 5, it'll be 5 of those. 5 YouTube links, 5 messages, and 5 art pieces for you. But yeah, just take your time. I'll probably use one soon, and I hit your when you're absolutely sold on it, just DM me. Let me know who it is. If you want to be specific, you can be specific, as in, like, you know, like for example, there could be a certain attire, clothing. Like maybe it's like, you know, maybe you want me to draw Kiryu again, but when he's in like Hawaii or whatever, right? So where he's wearing like those Hawaii shirts and stuff like that. If you prefer that, then sure. If you want me to, yeah, I can draw Kiryu in one of that outfit, because for example, Johnny, not the Johnny that we know, not the piano Johnny, another Johnny with a H. He's requested Zoro, but I drew Zoro already, so he requested Zoro for a different arc. Same thing with Luffy. He requested Luffy for a different arc, and because it's a different arc, they wear different clothing, so I drew in that style rather than the OG style that we're more familiar with. So yeah, if there is a repetition and there's a different outfit, I guess you could do that, but it's up to you if you want to request that, or just request something completely new, brand new. But yeah, take your time. You got five requests, so yeah. I mean, we also I don't know if I announced it officially on Discord, but we have opened up the bingo thing again for the second half of the year. So in November, December, we're gonna do like a bingo thing. So it's like imagine like the lottery from 1 to 99, right? And we pick the numbers out, and whoever gets like a whole line of 5 numbers picked, they get a free Bokomaru request as well. To obtain the ticket, it's using the channel points on the other channel, the non-gaming channel, where I do the art and animation stuff on. I don't know if you have enough. It's 30,000 channel points if you're interested in entering. So far, I think we have 4 people entering already. I opened it not too long ago, and we've got 4 people already who's entered. So yeah, if you want to also get another free request, I guess that's one way of doing it. I was thinking about maybe opening it onto this channel as well, because like I feel like a lot of people got a decent amount of channel points on this channel, but they got nothing to use it on right? So I was thinking, we could do it here, but then like people might be asking, what is this raffle ticket thing? And then I have to explain it to them and tell them about the other channel and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a bit, that's the reason why I haven't put it on here, but I could ask on Discord, like in an announcement next time when I make it officially open, if they want me to have it open on this channel for them to use it on as well. But yeah, hi Evelyn, how you doing? Welcome in, sir. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we're trying to finish off this case if we can, and then I'll see if I want to start the next case or not. Because ideally, in a perfect scenario, in a perfect world, I want to finish the other quest, so the other case, tomorrow. Because then it gives me the option to choose, do I want to play a different game next week? Or do I want to do the second game? But the question is, do I have space to start another game, to download another game? That I haven't tried or checked yet. So, because I do want to play, wait, what's that game called? But I need to download it though. And storage space is an issue at the moment. The game that we're playing next, after the Ace Attorney stuff, is oh shit, I can't remember which one it is. It's either Atelier, Escher, and Logi, or Atelier, Charlie, Alchemist. Because I got, you know how I said I got the Dusk trilogy set a long time ago. We've played Atelier Isha already, but we need to play whatever the sequel, the second one is. Not quite the sequel, but the second one. We could play that one, but I don't know which one the second one is. But the question is, do I have enough space? If there is not enough space, then we're limited to the games that we have. And let me check what games we have. We have this game, we have Genshin, we have Crash Bandicoot, we've got Lost Judgment, we've got Lost Sphere, which I'm in the process of. I mean, technically, we could stream Valkyrie Chronicles and then we could use the VOD as the YouTube videos in the future. That could be a thing, because then it will speed things up, I guess. Right? Or, wait, or at the last game that I got, we do have Final Fantasy 14. I'll be actually thinking about playing that next week. Okay, no worries, Heidi. Have a nice look. Have a good one, Heidi. Thanks for being here, and thanks for the resub once again. But we'll see. I'm not saying anything, making any promises yet. But we'll see. Is there a game that I'm feeling? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm feeling Atelier, but I don't know if we've got enough storage space, and I'm not uninstalling Genshin or Final Fantasy for Atelier, because then it means I have to re-download the whole game again, and they're like 100 gigs or something like that. But that being said, they did say that they're going to discontinue the PlayStation 4 for Genshin, and I don't know if it's next patch where I can't play Genshin anymore. If that's the case, then I guess that will free up time, space, and then I can then play Atelier. So maybe I should play the second game of the Ace Attorney game, because by the time I finish that game, surely we'll be in a new patch for Genshin, and then we can then see if we can play and stream Genshin on the PS4. Because then I can, like, you know, download more JRPGs on my console and stream those games in the future, and just play Genshin off stream, which I'm perfectly fine. I'm okay with that, because I don't know why Zenless Zero and Genshin's got, you know, good controller support. I can play my PS5 controller on my phone for Zenless Zero and for Genshin, but for Honkai Star Rail it's impossible to play. It's so weird. It's like it only recognizes X, and the thing is that the X button isn't the X button on the PlayStation controller. It's the X button on the Xbox controller, which is, I can't remember the layout. I think that's square. So yeah, for square, X is square, because Y is at the top, A is at the bottom, B is on the right, and then X is on the left, right, the left button. So which is equivalent to square on the controller, PS controller. So it's so weird. Like so I can only press like. So when I press X, it's equivalent to square. No, it's just like, no, my phone gets really hot. So when I'm doing a story, it's uncomfortable holding it. But yeah, doing dailies is fine. It's just when you're doing a story for like walking around for 3-4 hours or whatever, right? It heats up so much. Unless I play it like a tablet, right? Put it on the table and just like use my fingers. Even then, my fingers gets hot. So yeah, it's really warm even on the screen where you touch it. So yeah, and I'm not gonna buy an Xbox controller just to play Honkai Star Rail. No, that's a bit silly. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Xbox controller anyway. So I don't like the layout of the buttons. So yeah, I just don't understand why ZZZ and Genshin is fine, but Honkai Star Rail is not fine. But yeah, but the dumb thing is that on PC, the PS5 controller is perfectly fine. It does what it is: X is X, circle, circle, triangle, triangle. But when you try to connect it to the Android phone, it's just wonky. Like they try to map it. I tried to map it, key bind it, and stuff like that, and it doesn't work. I press start, nothing happens. When I press R1 or R2, it's equivalent to the start. It brings up the main menu. But I said start is the main menu. So why is R1 the main menu? It's so weird. And when I press circle, which is back, it's confirmed. I was like, what is going on? I'm mapping it how I want to map it, but it's not mapping it correctly. It's a mess. It's a mess. But yeah, so what I did do for this patch story, I had to use my hand, but yeah, it was really, really hot, so I had to play with 2 index fingers only, because rather than using my thumb to move and press like the skill, and like, you know, when you're walking around with your thumb, I was using my 2 index fingers to move and to attack. Maybe they put less energy into no, the thing is, I think it's for PlayStation. Yeah, they did less energy for PlayStation, but for Xbox, people saying that it's perfectly fine. I think it has support for, was it the 8-bit controller as well? It's just PS controllers it has no support on, and even then, it doesn't support PS4. It only supports PS5, I think. Because I couldn't when I linked or paired my PS4 controller with my phone. So Bluetooth is connected, but in the option, there's only screen output mode only, and there's no controller mode. Whereas for Zenless Zero, it'll pick it up. But yeah, for Honkai Star Rail, it doesn't pick up the PS4, but it picks up the PS5 controller. I don't know what Hoyo's done. Maybe I should speak to my colleagues and tell them to sort their PlayStation controller support out. But let's be real, I don't think they will, because like you said, I do think out of the 3 games, Honkai is probably the most mobile friendly, and even if they're done goof, we've got hands, so it should be fine, right? Just use your hands and fingers and thumbs. But yeah, I just play it. I just put it on the table, I guess, and just like move around with my 2 index fingers and attack with my index finger as well. But it's not ideal, but it is what it is. I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot. Okay, I didn't hear any strange sounds into the gunshot. That's a lie, because the judge said he heard a balloon pop 20 minutes before the end of recess. So I'm going to go objection here and prick the balloon. Excuse me, sir, you the liar. I'm sus of you now. Objection! Objection! Detective Bad, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything? It's the same color as the one Kay was holding. Oh? So you knew about that girl's balloon? Yeah. I was sitting with her up in the gallery. Where's the gallery? Oh, the gallery was where they said, because at first I thought it was this guy here. He was a sus one, Manny Cochin. But everyone said that he was at the gallery at the time of the murder, allegedly. So he couldn't have done it, supposedly. So I'm semi-sus of him, but I'm semi-sus of these two. If I had to give like the pack estimate, the quote thing, I think 40, 40, 20. No. 50, 30, 20. I'm 50% sus of her, 30% sus of him, and 20% sus of him. It's only one of these 3. I don't think there's anyone else. It could be anyone else. I'd be so gobsmacked if it was, but we'll see. Unless a new character gets introduced, and you know they're
The alibis or the testimonies full of holes, and I would be sus of them. During the recess, just before we split up, I filled the balloon up for her. Well, as you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon. So, what about the balloon? I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point. What are you getting at? This fragment was found in the hallway right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook as a gunshot. Oh, so the sound that the judge heard was not actually a gunshot, huh? On top of that, His Honor said that he heard the balloon pop. I mean, it's still possible, right? I mean, Ren's I guess Ren's like, because Ren's is working and stuff, right? So he's not able to come into the stream these days, and he hasn't streamed himself in a while as well. So yeah, we can't always blame it on Ren's. But with Tim, however, he does lurk from time to time, right? So maybe it's possible to place it and pin it on him. I guess. I'm not saying he did do it. I'm saying it's possible. Or for memes, you could be 1% sus of Tim. Or maybe Renz is conveniently not here because he's quote unquote working. Or in this case, he's probably still sleeping and then getting ready for work, right? He's actually the one who's fleeing and hiding his tracks. We should be sus of him too, right? On top of that, His Honor said he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was to reconvene. Yes, which means that His Honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway when you were in lobby number 1, Detective Bad. So yeah, this is why I'm sus of him. Because he claims he never heard anything, but he should have. But why didn't he hear anything? It could be possible that he was outside. Outside in the rail. The balcony, the bars thing. I'm still trying to figure out this iron bars thing, because if it's barred literally outside the window where you can't jump out, or is it like a balcony rail where you can go out a bit and maybe they walk or crawl along the rail from one lobby to the other lobby. And if you were in lobby 1 at the time, you were close enough that you should have heard the balloon popping as well. So? Well, don't give me a so. We just proved that there is a flaw in your testimony. The crackling of the truth is louder than the sound of your sweet naivety cracking. And since you kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of this place seem so rugged? Oh, is it noise proof? Oh. That's a lie. Because didn't he say he heard the real, a actual legit gunshot? If the rooms were designed to keep secrets from being leaked, i.e., soundproof or whatnot, then surely you're not able to hear a gunshot sound. I'm sus. Yeah, he might be creeping up from 30 to 35 now, you know? And also, both the windows are open. If both windows are open, surely the sound will come out of the window and he will hear it from the outside the window, right? Because the room isn't fully closed off. So sound will escape somewhere and the sound waves will travel through the window. Out the window, sorry. Well, what is that supposed to mean? The doors and walls are super thick. The window panes are double layered. Yeah, even if it's double glazing, the windows are open now. Who opened the windows? To top it all off, even the curtains are made of special sound absorbing materials. Oh, whoa. Did you hear that? Wait, did you hear that? He claims that the curtains are made of special sound absorbing material. I mean, like, maybe he does know it's a fact, but who else knows it's a fact? Does Attorney Castillo Yu knows about the special sound absorbing material? Because remember how I said earlier in last stream and this stream earlier, you was asleep, Erin, or maybe you was getting coffee or whatever, you wasn't in his chats. I was saying how I watched a lot of movies where some people would put something in front of the gun to make it act like some kind of silencer to like silence the gunshot. I've seen movies where they use like a milk carton full of milk, because I think maybe there was like gas or whatever, because you know how when you fire a gun you got some explosive, right? So that could trigger off an explosion if, like, for example, the room is full of gas, right? That fire would trigger off, right? So they will shoot inside a milk carton to silence the shot and to make sure that the explosive is contained in the milk carton, so it doesn't come out and, you know, make the whole room explode, go kaboom. I've seen where people use like pillows or whatever, right, to shoot in front of the pillow to kind of like lessen the sound. Because I was thinking that maybe there was no gunshot. And now that we know about the curtains, could it be that they literally put the gun in front of the curtain and then they fired a shot? And who would be good at aiming? Police force, law enforcement would be. You would think that they would have gun aim training, right? They have, like, you know, those aim lab training like you do in Valorant, right? And I'm sure, you know, law enforcement would do that. So officers, detectives. I'm not sure about defense attorney, but you know, it's very possible, because we established that because there was no explosive stuff, gunpowder stuff on the person, so we know that the gunshot wasn't fired point blank. It was a bit away, a few yards at least, to say the least. So there could be a shot them from the window through the curtains, so it would, like, you won't really hear it. There's nothing about the curtains being bulletproof, so I'm assuming the bullet traveled through the curtains. So I'm more sus of him now. He's gone up to 35, so I don't know if it's gonna be now 45, 35, 20 or 50, 35, 15. But yeah, I'm sus now. I'm sus of bad, because like I said, in the first three episodes, we didn't see Detective Bad anymore. Could he? Because I would have thought maybe he, or in the Phoenix Wright one, we haven't seen Detective Bad anymore. Could Detective Bad be actually a bad guy, and he got arrested, and he's in prison, and that's why you didn't see he's no longer in charge of these crime scenes, the investigations and whatnot, and it's Gumshoes that's now being put in charge because he got promoted to take his spot because he's now fired or in jail. I'm just thinking out loud, guys. I'm thinking out loud. Who knows? Then you mean since I was shut up inside lobby number 1, there was no way I could have heard that sound. The puns write themselves. Yeah, you got nothing but to blame Capcom. And you can't blame me, I don't work for Capcom, so I didn't script this. Maybe you could blame me for Sino and his puns, but you can't blame me for these puns and these names. Like this guy's name, right? Mackerel, you know, Mackerel. Yeah. His name's kind of fishy, right? But yeah. Blame the Capcom script writers. No. Ugh. I knew that's what he was going to say. Then that means that Scruffface's testimony is completely useless. That's Gummy, right? If the rooms are soundproof, then of course he wouldn't hear any signs of a struggle. Ugh. That's also why it's only natural that I didn't hear the balloon popping. But he heard the gunshot though. So maybe that's why he didn't hear. Okay, so maybe that's why he didn't. You know how I said that if you get stabbed, if you get London stabbed, surely you will scream in pain and shout in pain. So if the rooms were actually soundproof, that kind of explains why they couldn't hear Faraday screaming when he got stabbed. Now do you get it, kids? Miles, I thought we were supposed to be the ones finding flaws in his logic. Not the other way around. The other way round. Okay, so that's a clue. It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if ours were in lobby number 1. However, if we examine the situation in reverse, a person standing in a hallway should not be able to hear the real gunshot either. Hey, that's what I'm saying. And yet Detective Gumshoe claimed to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. To address this matter and to solve this problem, what we could do is we could tell Francisca to either go outside or we go outside ourselves and we tell the other person to make a loud racket, whoever's inside the lobby, start screaming, shouting or whatever, right? Or, you know, and if we can hear it, then we know Detective Bad is lying. If we can't hear them shouting or screaming or whatever, then we know that Detective Gumshoe was lying. But Detective Gumshoe was pleading his innocence. I do believe in that poor guy. I do believe in Gumshoe. That's what we could do, but I wonder if this game would say that. It would tell us to do that. Or if Miles would suggest to do that. Someone go outside, you know, one of us go outside and the other person who's inside make loud noises, see if the other person can hear it. Hi Colin Blair, welcome in, welcome in. How's my Final Fantasy 14 go? If that is the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot? What do you mean how? I just did. This is what I was saying. Like, if someone in the hallway can't hear it, what makes you think? So how can he hear it? It's got to be both ways. It can't be one way, right? It would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your own words. Oh, how so? If the rooms are as soundproof as you say they are, then how did the sound of the gunshot enter your ears? I see what you mean. I guess I'm more out of it from Faraday's murder than I've had thought. Which means what exactly, Miles? In the end, what does it all boil down to? It boils down to this. There must be a reason as to how Detective Bad and Gumshoe heard a gunshot they theoretically couldn't have. It looks like we need to examine the state of the crime scene again, huh? Oh, wait. Hold up. I just had a realization. Wait, let me look at this again. Okay, this time of death, is this from an autopsy report or not? Because I can't remember what time the recess was meant to, going back to the court was meant to happen. Was that 4 or 5? I can't remember. But I'm wondering. You wasn't here. For those who were here earlier, there's one evidence that's missing, right? So we went to the courtroom, and they showed us a bunch of evidence, and the bunch of evidence that we saw were the gun, the knife, this organizer, and a file, a folder. It kind of like this kind of envelope, kind of like a folder / envelope, which is like this. It wasn't this one in particular. It could have been actually. I don't think it was, but it was a folder similar to this, right? And we noticed that there was one important evidence that's missing, and it turns out it was the videotape, where there was like a camera footage of Mackerel supposedly shooting the this Kodopian embassy staff member. So it was gunned down in front of the embassy by rail. So there was a video footage, a VHS tape, and apparently
in the videotape, we actually heard a gunshot. I'm wondering if the gunshot that he heard, or someone heard, that people heard, was actually from the videotape. And that kind of like made us assume that was the time of the death. That's why I was asking, is this a real legit autopsy report, or is this the time that we heard the gunshot and we assume that that's when they died because we heard a gunshot? But could it very well be that someone used this soundproof sound absorbing curtains to fire the gun at, like, for example, 3 o'clock, 3:30, then played the VHS tape later on at 4 o'clock to make it sound like a gun was fired at 4 o'clock and they died at 4 o'clock? So then other people's alibi at 4 o'clock, making them look safe, is now in question. And then the question is, for example, if the real gun was fired at 3:30, where was everyone at 3:30? And this is where I was thinking. This is why I'm sus of these two. I'm sus of Bad and you, because if I recall correctly, Bad said that there was a time where he and her weren't together. I think he was in the hallway and she may have been in the defendant lobby 1, room 1. I'm assuming, I don't know, but they weren't together and they met up in lobby 1, room lobby 1. So it could very well be that he could be the good guy. He could be like, you know, doesn't know a thing, don't know what's going on. You know, in the hallway, he couldn't have heard any sounds or whatever. and then whatchamacallit, you could have went into the room, killed them both, used a gun behind the curtain to silence it, make it like a silencer. They all died. They got stabbed or whatever. You know, other guy got stabbed, or maybe she stabbed him, or whatever happened, right? They both died. Then later on, because they still think they're just talking to each other, they as in Faraday and Mackerel. And after time has passed, whether it's 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, she then played the evidence tape, which had the gunshot, right? I'm assuming that this video footage isn't too long. She probably played it and then skedaddled back to lobby 1, room lobby 1, via the window. Waited there, and like I said, sooner or later you will hear the gunshot from the video footage, because we can't find the clue, the evidence. Like even the judge don't know where the videotape's gone, right? So maybe the person, I'm assuming maybe you, was the one who played it in the VHS tape. That's why I wanted to go into the VHS player to see if there's a tape in there, because it's missing. I want to know if it's in there, because I feel like they could have played it, heard the gunshot, and then because she heard the gunshot, and then at that time when the gunshot was played, her and Bad are inside lobby 1, and because both the windows are now opened, like I said, the perfume smelling thing, the room being so pungent, they open a window as an excuse to keep the window open so we can hear the gunshot, because she intentionally left both windows open so Bad can hear the gunshot. So because he heard the gunshot, and that basically means, oh shit, there's a gunshot. So then they both left lobby 1, went into lobby 2, and see both of them dead. Yeah, so I'm it may be 50%, but I'm quite certain it's her now. In my head, it makes sense. It adds up. It adds up. It's fishy already that she conveniently spilled her perfume, and it's so strong that she had to open the window to like make it less suffocating. And because, like, you know, even if it's a soundproof room, if both rooms had windows open, that's where the sound's going to leave, and that's where the sound's going to enter into the other rooms for Bad to hear, or for both of them to hear. So that's a good cover up. I'm going to lie to you, that's a 5-head play. You know, she's trying to play 4D chess, but I'm playing 5D chess, so yeah, everything for her is 2-dimensional. I can read her like a book. So I think it's her, but I'm gonna keep it still at 50%. But I have like a lot of my spidey senses, you know, are tingling. The alarm bells are ringing. I'm very sus of Castillo. You. Her motives, maybe to do with the KG incident, and she wanted to know more about. I think that's the reason why she wanted to kill Mackerel. And maybe he's just collateral, like wrong place, wrong time. Maybe she didn't expect him to be there, or maybe she wanted to kill them both because he's a Yatakarasu, or one of them are the Yatakarasu, so she killed them both. So yeah, I think it's probably her. I'm gonna keep it at 50, but I think it's more than 50. I think it's realistically, I think it's like 80 or 90. I think it's her, but I might be wrong. But I'm gonna keep it at 50, 30, 50. You know what? I'm gonna keep it 50, 30, 20. Even though what he said, it was a bit sus, but I can explain it. If both windows are open, he can hear it. Oh, all good time. Thanks for popping by to say hi. And have a nice leg. I appreciate the love and support, buddy. So yeah, yeah, in my head I can see how it happened. Whether it actually happened that way or not, remains to be seen. But I think that's what happened. I'm calling it. So she killed, used a gun on Mackerel, fired it through the curtains to make it sound like a silencer gun. I don't know about the stabbing, who stabbed who, but whereas Mackerel stabbed Faraday, or she stabbed Faraday, that I don't know. She then left the room via the window. That's how she entered in the first place. Then she spilled perfume to fill up the whole room, left the window open in the lobby that she was in. Before she escaped, she played the VHS tape of the surveillance camera footage, the evidence video. And then she was in the lobby with Bad, and then she was in there long enough for the video to go to the point where Mackerel shot the guy, had a gunshot. They then went into here and then they saw the dead body and assumed that they both killed each other, which I don't think is the case. The state of the crime scene. Wait, can it be? Yeah. Dissipating the smell, yeah. She wanted to the smell to dissipate. And so she opened the window for it to diffuse away. So yeah, I think what my theory, there are some grounds for it. Whether I'm correct or not, we'll see. And way too noisy. Yeah, it looks like it was set to an incredible high volume, exactly. So they did it on purpose so Bad can hear it from the other room with the windows open. Because if you play TV from like a normal volume or quite low volume, even if you're in the next door, you won't be able to hear it. Even if both windows open, right? It'll be hard to hear it. It won't be that loud. And even if it's a sound of a gunshot, because it was so low, you will probably instinctively know that sound was from a TV. However, if you put a max volume, amplified, boosted, and stuff like that, then it could have been a real gunshot, or doing it really loud. So yeah, that could be the case. Yeah, that's the reason why it was set to high volume, to make it like simulate it as a real gunshot, as an actual gunshot. With all these jigsaw puzzles, I'm guessing I need to do the logic thing soon. Yeah, it just disappeared, so we don't know where it went. I think it's in the VHS tape player. We need to play the VHS tape player or inspect the VHS player to see if there's a VHS tape inside there. I suspect it will be inside there, but who knows? Oh, okay, never mind. It went straight to logic mode. Okay, so I'm guessing. Okay, let's piece the window with the smell. Connection. It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through barred windows. Hi Ezra. I don't know about the at his best, but yeah, I have a theory. We'll see if I'm right or not. Hope you're doing well, Ezra. And yet, the fragrance of the perfume managed to escape from defendant lobby number 1. Of course, incorporeal things can move freely through these opened, barred windows. Yeah, so maybe the windows are actually barred. Yeah, because I couldn't tell if it was like a balcony bar, because it said something about to stop people from from falling or jumping out the window. So I don't know if it's like a balcony, so it's hard to jump off. But maybe it's actually completely boarded up, and you can't. If that's the case, then I don't know how she did it then, unless someone shot it from across the room, the building. That's why I'm kind of sus of Manny coaching, because he might be at the gallery, but maybe the gallery has proper access to this room, and he can shoot through here. But I don't know. We'll see. A very loud television. Okay. So the open windows and a very loud television. This is what makes people be able to hear the gunshot, and they make it sound like it's a real gunshot. Now then, what else besides the smell can go both in and out of an open barred window? The answer is sound. So no matter how careful the killer was, if the windows are open, the jig will be up. And since the window in both defendant lobby number 1 and the hallways were open, that explains how the sound of the gunshot could be heard in both locations. I'm guessing the last two here. Connection. The missing piece of evidence is the video. That shows the moment in which Mr. Rell killed the embassy staff member. The sound of the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it played during the trial. The video should have been returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the recess and brought back here. If it disappeared at the time, then it's possible that the tape is still here in this room. Eureka! The evidence that the missing evidence created for me. It's the gunshot sound that no one should have been able to hear in the first place. Miles, what have you been thinking about? Stop wasting time thinking and start looking again. It's not a waste of time to think, for I have figured out where we should look. And where would that be? I believe we should examine the television. Yeah, the TV. Well, you kids have fun. Go ahead and examine whatever you like. Okay, before we do that, I need to go to the toilet, so I'll be right back. Yes, suspect every nook and cranny. Yep, I know. Let me save. We haven't saved that all today. Okay, so I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go to the toilet. Remember to stretch, hydrate, and all that stuff. Be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back now. Is the controller fully charged? Yes, it's fully charged. Alright, so the TV, I guess, right? We just clicked on the VHS tape player. Wait, the VHS player is called a VCR, right? I forgot, it's not VHS. VHS is a tape, VCR is the actual device that plays the tape. I forgot, it's been so long since I've seen one. It's a video player, and there seems to be a videotape inside. It looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end. That's what I'm thinking, because by the time we went to investigate, it must have finished. That's why there's a blank screen and stuff. And no sound is being played. But let's see. I think it's the footage, but we'll see. This tape. Could it be the missing surveillance tape? I suppose, but one way to find out to rewind and play a bit of it. Detective Bad, would it be alright with you if I verify the contents of this video? Sure, knock yourself out. Alright, let's rewind this and see what we have. Oh my gosh, I missed that sound. It's been so long since I heard that. Right, we don't hear the sound anymore in any devices that we have. If I remember correctly, the footage of Rel killing the embassy staff member should be about 30 minutes mark from the start of the tape. Alright, this is what we're talking about, the recess thing, because I think the recess was 30 minutes, which kind of like... Maybe it was a bit more than the recess. Maybe, like I said, I think they timed it conveniently. So yeah, I feel like if the gunshot was allegedly at 4 o'clock, the killing thing could have been around 3:30. They killed the person, then played the video, and then they escaped. Because I can't remember who claimed that Faraday and Macro wanted to talk to each other inside the room. But how do you know it's just those two? There could have been more people in there. Understood. This is about right. Now then, let's see. This is the footage of Mr. Rao shooting the embassy staff member. I knew it. The missing piece of evidence, the surveillance video, was here all along. This sound. What's the meaning of this? It appears that Detective Bad had figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. With this, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder. Yeah, the fact that he was kind of like surprised and shocked. Makes me think. Makes me think that it wasn't him. Which brings me back to you be the one who did it. Do you think that you figured it all out then? Yes, all I have to do now is show what the gunshot Detective Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from. Fine, in that case, show me what you've deduced. Oh gosh. Now to show what the gunshot Detective Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from. I won't rest until... Okay, let's read that. It's here. GG. And then it's the video. Eureka! Eureka! If the door and windows to the crime scene, namely this room that we're in, were closed, the killer could have used a gun, and no one would be the wiser. That's true. This courthouse does seem to be well designed for such a thing as it were. However, what happened in reality was Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Miss Yu. All three of them heard the gunshot. Well, the windows in lobby number 1, number 2, and the hallways were open. So naturally the people in these locations could hear it. But then why would the criminal open the windows in the first place? To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose. correct. That is the only logical conclusions we can draw from this. But why was it that necessary in the first place? I want a real answer, Miles. I demand satisfaction. Very well. I believe that the killer wanted to manipulate our perceptions of a certain fact. What was it that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of? When the crime took place? Because we like I said, that's why I was asking. Did the murder actually take place at 4, and was this the autopsy report, or this is what we were claiming? Because that's when we had the gunshot, so we assumed that it was at 4 o'clock. Because it was half an hour, it could have been at 3:30. So maybe it was when the crime took place. The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes, and they used a gunshot in surveillance video to do so. So now we need to find everyone's alibi at 3:30, right? So if that's the case, then maybe Gumshoe wasn't even around at 3:30. Therefore, it can't be him, as he has an alibi. He was in transit, making his way to the courthouse, to the courtroom. So that's why the videotape was left running. You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video? Yes, which means that the murder really occurred at an earlier time than we thought. Okay, I'm going to change it now. I think Manny coaching is still going to be 20. I'm going to bring him down to 10. And I'm going to raise you up to 70% sus now. Before even looking at people's alibi. Because it could be the fact that they say coaching was in the gallery room, but was he there from 3:30? Or was he there from 4 and onwards? So he had an alibi from 4 and onwards, not at 3:30. That's why I want to put Manny coaching still there. I kind of low-key want to increase him from 20 to 30. But I'm going to keep him at 20 for that time being. It must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Exactly. That's why I think it's not Gumshoe. But it could still be Manny coaching. But I'm highly sus of you. Someone who has no alibi for that time period and planned this crime out in advance. That person is the real killer. Oh yeah, investigation complete. Oh, we're back to full health again. Let's go. Mr. Edwin. Yes, what is it? Miss Yu is asking for you. She's in the courtroom. She says that she's identified the murderer, but that she wants to clarify something. It looks like Miss Yu is still investigating something. Understood. Please tell her that I'll be right over. I'll come along. I want to hear what she has to say. It would appear that the time has come to uncover the truth. Oh, is this the final part then? To be continued. Okay, this is where they will save. The save prompt is going to happen. And then we move on. Okay, let's save. So yeah, it's 70 you, 10% bad, 20% coaching. But yeah, if the police guards can verify that coaching was there in the gallery at 3:30, and by the gallery there is no way to, because I think the gallery is part of the court trial place, right? I don't know if you can see the save file, the thumbnail on the right hand side of the save file. You know the elevated seats. I think that's like considers like the gallery or the galleria, what it's called. I think from what I've read at the previous stream, because they had a floor plan. I think I saw galleria there. So if that's the case, then maybe he doesn't have like a shot, a view of it. And if he was there at 3:30, he has a solid alibi, and obviously he'll be down to 0. But yeah, I'm high sus of you. Not you, but Castillo you. September 10, 6:15 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Let's see what she has to say. Yeah, basically the seats above her, I think, is the Galleria. okay. What are you doing here? Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating. But the object you're looking for has already... Gay. Don't mind him. Please continue with your investigation. Okay, you got it. Detective Bad, have you already found what you were looking for? If it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, any little task will do. Oh, you're more sympathetic than I thought. I mean, must we stand there and talk across the room? Like, why can't we just stand next to each other? I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth. I've also been waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. The moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest? Wasn't that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I think we more than solved this case already. Don't you? We'll see. It all depends on whether or not your logic holds. Oh, I see we even have a viewer in the gallery. Or maybe the gallery is actually the room itself. And why? Even Mr. Bad is here. So if Manny Coaching was here throughout the whole time from 3:30 to 4 o'clock, then we know he didn't do it. A viewer in the gallery? I'm hardly just a bystander. I have a duty to see this case through to the end, no matter how it turns out. Oh, is that right? Anyways, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements of every single person's movements during the time when our suspect was in the hallway. I also confirmed that there is no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. So lobby number 2 was the room where the murder took place, okay. Therefore, the killer must without all doubt be Detective Gumshoe. And that's all you have? Yes, that's all there is to my conclusions and this case. Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial there is always time for rebuttal, and we are standing in a court of law. It'll be more than appropriate to follow the rules of court in this case, don't you think? How absolutely like a rookie to think such a thing. But alright, I'll play along and give you a proper testimony. If my logic is correct, then I've already won. All I have to do now is to prove it by showing who the real killer is. Oh no, I should have saved. Oops. Oh, okay. It's a testimony. I thought it was where we had to point at something, at someone, and I remember one time, I don't know which game it was, where you had to point a certain person or a clue, and if you got it wrong, it literally was game over. I believe. So I was scared, and I was thinking of saving, so we can save scum and stuff like that. But luckily, it doesn't look like we have to because it was a testimony. Okay, misuse argument. Everyone, sans the suspect, has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated, right? I also confirmed that there is no possible escape route from lobby number 2. Why is she always laughing? Look at her shaking up and down. It's like she's laughing all the time. Come on, control yourself, woman.
Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion, that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. Phew. Now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth. But of course, there's no need to confront her logic head on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump cards she has up her sleeve. Okay. Because he said that, I'm guessing he said no need to confront, so no rebuttal, no objection, right? So focus on drawing out any trump card up her sleeve. That probably means maybe like to press every single or most of her statements. So let's do that.
Hold it!
To find more contradictions and more holes, and to see the trump card, what she's trying to whip out. The suspect? I thought that Detective Gumshoe's alibi has already been proven. Are you joking, Edgeworth? I assure you, this is no joke. Look, I know you've heard from the judge earlier that the detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll. Yes, that is correct. But you see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? And the problem is, there's no one else who can corroborate what he did since the snacking. I see she's done her research well, which means that I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she's withholding. Okay.
Hold it!
Hold it. Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not, it's for me to decide. The scrunched eyebrows and the lines on your foreheads are back. Anyways, even if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, the crime scene lobby number 2 has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. And because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect. But isn't that possible? Also possible that someone escaped through a window and into the garden? That's the first place everyone looked, silly. The police aren't a bunch of lazy bums. They looked into every possibilities, you know? Isn't that right, Mr. Bad?
Yeah. There wasn't a scrap of evidence to suggest someone used one of the windows. There also weren't any footprints or anything in the courtyard garden.
I suppose they really did check everything that could be relevant to the case. No possible escape. How did she do that? Are you absolutely positive that there are no possible routes of escape? Of course I'm sure. And why are you so certain? This is a courthouse, the place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there was an escape route, I'm sure every criminal would be using it to escape. It's just common sense. Miles Edgeworth, I suggest you use a bit more of it in the future.
Whoa, why is she whipping up?
But we should leave this to them.
Hold it!
You may think it's unshakable, but to me, there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand? But you're the only one still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing. I'm not about to let her get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement. I suppose we've really reached the end now. I've already had my trump card already. All that remains is to play it. But before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisco or myself speaking with you about the subject. But there are witnesses. For you, there is your mentor who gave you an alibi. I see. As for the little missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess and was stopped by a security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, or so I've heard. I'm the daughter of Manfred von Karmler, and I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard or a bailiff or anyone else. Wait, so basically the only reason Francisca bothered to show up today was because she found out that I was to be the replacement prosecutor? By the way, Miss Yu, what about everyone's alibi before Detective Gumshoe was assigned to guard duty? What about them? Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time? Well, what kind of idiot do you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went into lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot to the time Mr. Bad and I arrived on the scene as we dashed from lobby number 1. The only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe. Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard the gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when the gunshot you heard went off, what then? That gunshot was a trap meant to manipulate our perception. I could not read that all in time. That when the crime took place. Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1, care to explain how it could have been fabricated? This will be the surveillance video. There we go. Take that! The CCTV footage. That tape? Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. This is a surveillance tape of Mr. Rell and the prosecution presented in today's trial. This was found loaded in the video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large television and had its volume turned all the way up. You can't honestly mean that the sound we heard was the gunshot in the video. Ah, but I do. Which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot. That's the only thing I can think of too. After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television volume all the way up, and left the video to play. If played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come on. And since we know that this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibilities that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe. Objection. Sounds from a television doesn't amount to much here, but of course Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and Little Miss Von Karma already knew that much from the very beginning, right? Oh, of course we knew, didn't we, Miles? Yes, of course. We know about the soundproof quality of this courthouse's room. Of course, I'm not about to admit we had no idea until only a little while ago. That's right. And if the rooms are soundproof, then we should not have been able to hear it. And yet, we heard that gunshot clear as day. And that's it. End of story. But it's not. How should I explain why she was able to hear the gunshot from the soundproof room? The window was open. There is actually one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. And it is that despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was opened in each. Now we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window in lobby number 1 was also opened. Ah ha ha! It's probably just a coincidence that they were both opened at the time. It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window open in the lobby number 1? It was and the answer is a certain person did something to cause the window to be opened. And the person who triggered that action, that person is the real guilty party. So it was you then. The real killer in the double murder mystery is you.
Take that!
Miss Castillo, you. I hereby formally indict you of the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell.
What? You indict me?
Are you serious, Miles? Why do you think she is the killer? I don't understand her motive just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she's the only one who could have done it. Well, Miss Yu, do you still feel like laughing now?
Ha ha ha, of course I do, Edgeworth.
My argument must not be tight enough yet.
Although, I never thought things would spiral into this, but I'll have you know that I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right?
Okay, let's see what she says. What is her testimony, her rebuttal? Miss Yu's rebuttal.
You'd argue that the window was opened, however, do you have proof it was I who did that? Furthermore, do you have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime? Frankly, I'm shocked as you for going around accusing people of murder like this, especially with logic as full of holes as yours.
Okay, it was the perfume. This is where it really starts. I mustn't let my guard down for even a second or the truth will blow away. Now, it's the time to put the patented Von Karma perfect proof to the test. Does that mean we need to click as well, like Von Karma, or not? Okay. Yes, it was you. Perfume, perfume, perfume. Objection! I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yu?
Ha ha ha, Edgeworth, I never knew you were into wearing that kind of perfume. It's not exactly what I'd recommend for boys, you know?
Well, this isn't mine. That's right, it's mine. I received it from Detective Badge, you see. Miss Yu, you can pretend all you like, but we know at least this much is for sure. That you are the one who gave this bottle of perfume to Detective Badge.
And that you're super easy to rile up. So, what about the perfume?
While you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some of this perfume. That is according to Detective Badge.
Oh, I know.
You also knew that if you spilled it, he would naturally move to open a window.
Objection!
Come now, I already told you that. That's all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window in the lobby number 1, I just left it open, you know?
Yes, because you must have killed it, closed it, got Bad to open it to make it less sus, and then we heard the gunshot. Oh, sorry, I didn't read that message as well, Color Blue. I'm sorry to hear you had a trash day at work. I hope you have a good day now, the rest of the day, and just chilling. Hi, Winter, how you doing?
So maybe it was just dumb luck that we heard the gunshot through the window.
I think it was timed on purpose. The timing of when you were going to spill the perfume is something you could control, because you needed to let it. Yeah, that makes sense. Because she intentionally closed the window, so she can spill the perfume, so it could like muster up, like for it to marinate and for the perfume to smell to take all over the room, so it becomes so pungent and strong and suffocating that you have to open the window. And you made Bad open the window, so you make him open the window to make it like it is a coincidence, and then to make it less sus, make us less sus of her. And the most important fact about this case is when people were made to hear the shot. Furthermore, it would be pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time.
You mean?
Miss Yu, you were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1 when you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway. Is that correct? All of today's premeditated events could only have been thought up by you, Miss Yu. Because remember, she said she had no intention defending
mackerel. She just wanted to gain some intel and some info. Ugh.
Ha 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 ha. You accuse me of murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume. Well, allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday. Would you care to testify as to why? Ha 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 ha. Looks like I had a lot of fun today, really. But I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all.
Okay, one more testimony. What's she saying this time? Why it couldn't be me?
Accusing someone of murder over a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top. But I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma.
Oh no, he didn't. This is why I need to snap my finger. Oh no, he didn't.
In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from.
Didn't know where the knife of his came from, but does she know? Does she know? Mouse, her testimony is flawless. Amateur child, sit down. Take a knee, peasant. Yes, but no matter what sort of tricky she may try to pull, she won't escape from me. And if I'm lacking in information, I just draw it out of her. That means that we need to press them. That's a suggestion that we need to press. But what are we pressing though? I don't think we need to press that. I don't think we did press that as well. That's a bit of a low blow though. Okay. I don't even know where the knife... Don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. This is the last thing. I think we have to press this because it doesn't look like the other first three we have to press. Doesn't make sense to press those on those.
Hold it!
Hold it. At this rate, she will inevitably escape. But if she really was the one who killed Mr. Faraday, then she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Monsieur. Maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife was used to kill Mr. Faraday and was taken from his evidence bag. Mouse, what do you think you're doing? I'm drawing the truth out of her. That's what I'm doing.
Huh? But I don't recall a knife being present at the trial earlier today.
Well, I suppose that's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use.
Ha 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 ha. So that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you cut it out with the lines? I've already figured you out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key that Yatakarasu had sent. And unless a key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on.
Well, while she say that, I have you know that the key is actually a knife. Bingo.
Oh, did you really think you could trap me? Come now, be honest.
Heh, I never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might append what you had just said to your testimony.
Sure, why not? I'll even say it many times as you like.
There was a key in his evidence. You can't simply sell anyone with a key, but you can. But oh, you can represent the key. This key is actually can be turned into a knife. Miss Yu, I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. This is a picture of the key that Yatakarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it is in fact has a secret ability to transform into a knife.
which means that what was inside Mr. Faraday's bag was both the Yatagarasu key and the murderous knife. You knew that key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not?
Yes.
Well, with that Yatagarasu key alone, it's more than possible to kill Mr. Faraday. Ugh. Do you understand now? Just knowing of the existence of the Yatagarasu key. Yeah, because Bad said only a few people know that the the secret of the key. Like Bad didn't even know himself that the key can be turned to a knife. Maybe she knew about it, but she didn't tell people.
I still haven't had a good look at it. Showing it to me from that far away, you could have been lying for all I know.
You would, even now, still feign ignorance?
Ahaha, I'm not feigning anything. But we can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence now, can we? I mean, Mr. Von Karma, I heard some very interesting rumors about him.
Ah, are you mocking my papa?
Don't you dare sully the good name of my mentor. Now take a good look. This piece of evidence is more than real. Wow, who knew there was such a trick to this thing?
Hi Foxhound, hi Wowfask, hope you guys are doing well, welcome to the stream. Good morning.
Are you satisfied now? But of course, you knew from this very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and the Yatagarasu are one and the same.
However, someone like you, who isn't a member of the law enforcement, and who would never have been privy to this trick, would have never known about it to begin with. Furthermore, there's something that the Yatagarasu sent to the police. How did you have knowledge as to what it was?
Actually, I heard it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Rell off, he told me, oh that's right, I almost forgot. He also told me that the key turned into a knife at that time. But he didn't tell me about how the key actually transformed.
Objection!
How convenient. What you are saying is simply not possible.
Oh? Why not?
Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. For within these pages, he mentions nothing about a knife. Yeah, he mentions only the key.
Objection!
What? I'm not sure he would have written everything in his organizer, you know? Wouldn't something of this importance be better left to oral communication?
Objection!
Which is objection left, right and centre now. Unfortunately, that is also impossible. Because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either.
Tusk!
What would have been highly classified information, even within the police force. And it's something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know. Yeah, because if he didn't know, then she must have known. The only way she would have known is if she accidentally did something to the key and it transformed into a knife. Why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition?
Yeah, I guess he wouldn't have much of a reason to. Looks like I gave a pretty lame excuse, huh?
How can you laugh at a time like this? She probably just realized the flaw in her logic and is actually in a panic over it. But that's not something we need to concern ourselves with. I suppose you're right. Miss Yu, I'd like to state that I also know how you know the real nature of the knife.
Do you now? Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Show me.
Oh, I will. And I will wipe that smile off your face by the time we're through. This is it. The moment of truth. The secret behind the Yatagarasu's key. Only one person would have had the knowledge of it from the get-go. Who would have known from the start that the Yatagarasu key would change into a knife? Could she have been the Yatagarasu herself? It was actually a woman, not a man. It has to be Yatagarasu. Only they would know, right? From this list of people.
Take
There is only one person who would have known about the dual nature of the key. Aha, and that is the person who sent the Yatagarasu key to the police. That is the Yatagarasu herself. Dun dun dun. So the Yatagarasu wasn't actually Mr. Faraday. Are you saying that this lawyer is the great thief, Yatagarasu? That's the plot twist. She's the Yatagarasu. Miss you knew Mr. Rel to lure. Sorry, you used Mr. Rel to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, didn't you? You who profess to bear a grudge against criminals. Why? Why do something like this? Phew. Oh, she's losing the plot. Who would have thought that you, a stupid rookie prosecutor, would see through me? You're sending the biggest chill down my spine right now, Edgeworth. This feeling of thrill is even greater than when I sneaked into some place. You killed Faraday? Why? Answer me, Costello, you. Aha! Costello, you, huh? That's not my real name. Oh? What's her name then? Because my real identity is, yes, the great thief Yatakarasu. So she made up her name to pretend to be her sister? What is going on? Does that make sense? Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday was one difficult man to deal with. For you see, he had discovered my true identity, which is why I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Rel an offer, an acquittal for little favour in return. All he had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being the Yatagarasu in court. But once we entered the recess, Rel was dragged off by Mr. Faraday, which threw my plans into a complete mess. I chased after them and eavesdropped on them through a crack in the door. That Rel caves to only two things: money and authority, just as all thugs do. I feared my plan was going to be ruined if Mr. Faraday held onto Rel any longer. Plus, if I had let them continue on the way they were, I would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both. Okay, she's confessing to the crime, so she did do it. But didn't you say that you despise criminals? But do I really? You. Have you forgotten about the KG8 incident too? Maybe. What sort of woman would... So then, was it your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent? Haha. Well, I had a good idea of what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated that Mr. Faraday was going to prove that Rel wasn't the Yatagarasu by using this Yatagarasu key as evidence, and that he would bring it with him. Which is why I thought to use the knife portion. With a weapon as well disguised as this, no one would be the wiser. Because who in their right mind would think that something like this could be a weapon? I casually entered lobby number 2 on the pretext that I had talked with Mr. Faraday. Yeah, so if the windows were actually barred up and you can't jump or leave the window, she just opened it for us to hear. Oh, sorry, for Detective Bad and Detective Gunshot to hear the gunshot then, I guess. So you can't actually jump. Okay. So that part was wrong. About her climbing through the windows to kill. She probably just killed them 30 minutes before the detectives were in the hallway. She just left and closed the door, and no one was the wiser. No one knew that there were 2 dead people inside that room, and then she just moved into lobby number 1 afterwards. And in order to get in with him, I pretended to be worried about something. He then let me hold the Yatakarasu key, just like that.
And that's why she held the bag, right? The evidence bag. She held it to not have her fingerprints on it, and that's why there's only blood on the there's blood on the bag, and it was Mr. Faraday's blood. Because once you stab, when you yank out the knife, that's where the pressure is, and the blood will splutter, and it splattered onto the bag, and not on her.
He never noticed that I changed the key into the knife inside that plastic bag. And yet, he didn't have a chance to take a note of the knife that took his life.
How could you kill him?
I knew for a long time. You know? At the very least, I thought to give him a quick and painless death.
But if you killed Mr. Faraday first, there will be no need for you to kill Mr. Rell as well.
I believe I mentioned why we were placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness, and how that led to the killer to think about setting them up as though they killed each other.
Then the trick with the surveillance tape.
Yes, I hadn't actually planned to use a gun. The risk was too high that I'll be caught. However, that's when I remembered the existence of the surveillance tape, which is why I had Rel help me set up the crime scene. And after all was said and done, I rewarded him for all his hard work with a bullet.
You're a defense lawyer, aren't you? How could you? How could you betray a client?
Oh, ha, client? If you want to talk about who was a client of whose first, it was me. I was the client in the murder of the Kodopian embassy staff member, the dead man.
You ordered a hit job?
Ha. You still haven't figured it out, Mr. Bad. I had dead man killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling ring. Now, who exactly do you think would benefit from such an assassination?
It can't be.
You're... That's right. I'm a member of the smuggling ring.
What? How could this... You don't mean... You're working with Manny Coaching too, do you?
Maybe not. Guess you'll never know.
The Yatakarasu claims to be noble, but you're just another cold-blooded murderer.
That's right, little girl. The Yatakarasu is just another killer.
Be quiet, you. Yatakarasu, you can run from the law, but you never escape it. So just humbly accept the judgment of this court.
Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know the Yatakarasu has 3 legs? Do you know why that is? No. Well, let me tell you. It means that the Yatakarasu has more than one razor-sharp ways to do her work.
Whoa, shit, she's got a gun. Is she gonna shoot us? But Detective Bad's here. Shoot her. Bad, shoot her. We need her out and gone badly.
You really are too naive, Edgeworth.
Sorry, you are really too naive, Edgeworth. You even handled the Yatakarasu's key right to me without a second's thought. Everything may not have gone accordingly to plan, but I'll still gladly take it.
You mean the key was your real target?
Even after I gave you such great advice, didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal? Or you may regret what comes of your negligence.
You two, get down.
Oh, don't tell me he dies.
Is that the reason why he's not in any of the future cases? Not because he was in jail, because he probably got shot. He probably protected
He was like, Mr. President, get down! And he jumped and took the bullet and died. Oh no. Eek! Ah! Ugh, my body. I can't move. Hey, mister. To your right. We got down in time. You! Who did she shot? Okay, I think she missed. Are you alright, Francisco? Daijoubu? I'm perfectly fine, Miles. Kenchana. Her voice is shaking, but it looks like she's unharmed. Where did Kay go? That's a gunshot. Oh no, she shot him. No, he's not dead, right? I guess he got the bad ending. September 10, 7 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. No, he's alive. He's still good. He must have another bullet in his coat and he must have evaded. Once again. The bad ending is right here in chat. I'm so sorry. Sorry, but it looks like she got away. I called the precinct. They should have a perimeter set up soon. Detective Bad, are you alright? I heard a gunshot. I'm okay. Just got another hole in my jacket. Look at the sweat on his face. He may say he's fine, but he looks quite shaken. But more importantly, boy, I mean Mr. Edgeworth, Ms. Von Karma, are you two hurt? I'm absolutely fine. I'm also alright, thanks to Kay. Speaking of Kay, where is she? I don't know. She just sort of disappeared. I'll go look for her. Oh, and hey, Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, sir. Detective.
I couldn't read it in time.
Detective Bad, sir.
I'm sorry I doubted you.
Don't worry, sir. It's not your fault. Well, I lied to you guys too, after all.
I hear about what happened from Kay. Lying while giving testimony is still unforgivable. Okay, let's save it. Like I said, it looks like the conclusion is gonna end the game. Just in case we need to give something and it's a trophy related, we save just in case we done goof. Let's save one more time. Different save file. Okay. Looks like you might have what it takes to be a real detective. Well, that's a compliment. Now, don't ever lose that detective spirits, okay?
You got it, Pops.
Pops? Watched one too many detective dramas recently, have we? Way to single-handedly destroy the cheery atmosphere with one snarky comment. I should get back to the investigation. I swear I'll catch you if it's the last thing I do. Be careful, Detective Bad, and take care. Thanks. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run into each other again someday.
Thanks a bunch, pal. You're the best. You really did find out the truth behind everything.
Yes. Well, I'm glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison.
I can't believe how much trouble I caused you with my testimony, Detective Gumshoe. It was no problem, really. Ha ha ha. I mean, I lied too, so I didn't help anything. It's really not your fault, Your Honor.
Well, even if you didn't have his Honor's testimony, I think the lawyer would have found out another way to get you convicted on her behalf.
Yeah, I can't believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective.
Well, so long as you're not fired, you should work hard, give all what you have, and perform your duties as well. Oh, and one more thing.
Kay left a present with. Kay left a present for you with me. Okay, okay. I know what it is. It's the Swiss roll, but we'll do the badge for memes. No, you know what? Actually, no. Let me give the Swiss roll.
She did? Ooh, what is it?
What was it that Kay left me? The proof of their friendship. Yep, it's the Swiss roll. Wait, where's the Swiss roll? Oh, there it is.
Take that!
Take that.
It's a courthouse special Swiss roll. Can I really have it?
Yes, it's a present meant for you after all.
Thanks a bunch. You have no idea how happy this makes me, pal. I'm gonna eat this right now.
Sure, go ahead. The Swiss roll Detective Gumshoe and Kay bought together. While the one Kay saved never reached her father, it would appear that her sentiments have touched the heart of this detective. Okay, so I'm guessing this is ending soon. He's so happy. It's as though he's having a welcome back celebration of his own. Well, I was asked by Kay to give it to him.
Whoop, that was good, pal. I can't believe I got to eat 2 of these delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in Swiss roll paradise or something.
Yeah, the luck is on your side. You could say you're on a roll.
I've got to thanks Kay myself. Hey, wait, where is she?
He's only noticed just now? Was his mind not present when we discussed her earlier? Detective Bad left to go search for her earlier. Maybe she should go join him.
Yeah, you betcha, pal. I'm gonna go help him. Oh, but wait. You know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh? I'm gonna stick right by your side from now on, Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
I sense nothing but the most troublesome relationship from that ominous statement. We should go home, Miles. We have to hurry and report what happened to Papa. Agreed. Well, I'm afraid we must be going now, Detective.
Roger, sir. And don't you worry, I'll investigate the next case we're on real well.
Be counting on you. The scent of trouble is definitely in the air. Thus, like a bad dream, my first outing at court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor. But the detective in charge of the investigation was, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I have tried, but words fail to describe the immeasurable suffering he has caused me. Oof. But I suppose that's just how things are. As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she's now... What's happening? Is she the center of attention? Yeah, she's all grown up, right? So, do you remember now? So this was the end of episode 3. Yes, I remember everything. Kay, it's been a while.
Kay, you sure grew up.
Of course, but thank goodness. I thought you two had totally forgotten about me. Okay. I've been holding my pee in. I'm gonna go to the toilet, guys. We don't know how long this case is, so yeah, I'm gonna go to the toilet. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hi, Manice. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I've been doing good.
You know, I was really worried about you. After all that, where have you been all this time?
Hey, Gummy. I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to go live with my mother's relatives. They live really far away, so I wasn't really able to come back here all that much.
Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'm just glad you're alright.
So does it all make sense now?
You betcha it does.
Oh, you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelf recently and... Actually, there are still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay.
Huh?
First of all, why did you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yatagarasu? Yeah, because I thought you was the Yatagarasu and she escaped. So why is Kay now claiming to be the Yatagarasu? Did something happen, Manice? Do I need to read your Discord server or Johnny's talk about your day Discord server? I just realised I got tagged somewhere in Johnny's server. Who pinged me? Wait, someone pinged me in games, but I don't know who pinged me. Huh? Oh wait. Oh, it's Andy. Which is that today? Oh right, I see. Okay, I just read the message on the 19th, so that was yesterday. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's good luck. I hope you get good news soon. Yeah, I just saw it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that it hasn't been the best few days or weeks for you. Okay. So you're just waiting on more updates. I wish every success in the surgery tomorrow. Yatagarasu is Castillo Yu, the woman who killed your father. No, you're wrong. The real Yatagarasu was my father. What the hell? What's going on? Were we mistaken, or was she confused?
Mr. Faraday, was the Yatagarasu?
Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelf recently, and I found a secret diary hidden among his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yatakarasu. That was written in his diary, and that's how I know for sure. Wait, then what? I'm confused. But that's impossible. What's with that look? You don't believe me? It wasn't just the expression on my face. I clearly said it was impossible just now. Ah, I see. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, though. But yeah, I'll cross my fingers and pray that the surgery goes well tomorrow. And hopefully you'll get the good news once it's done and that everything's a-okay. It's a way of disarming any security system of the users controlling it, or users choosing. Yep, that's little thief, truth be told. This is the Yatakarasu's greatest secret. And this little gizmo was used by my father.
Wow, Mr. Faraday wasn't just a great prosecutor, but he was a really great thief, huh?
Yeah, my father worked really hard to steal the truth, but he was killed, and the Yatakarasu was no more. But despite that, the Yatakarasu has been spotted again recently. Someone other than you? Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, take a look at this article. The Yatakarasu sent the embassy a calling card? Yeah, yeah, please do him a nice. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out on Johnny's Discord server. Yeah, meaning this person is a fake. I'm almost certain that Costello Yu lady is behind this. Oh, so she's an imposter. Because the real Yatakarasu would never send something like a gaudy card out. But the Yatakarasu did send a white card along with anything to be publicized. That's what Detective Bad told me 7 years ago, if memory serves. As soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up, and I knew I couldn't just let it go. So I searched you out, so that I could obtain the trust behind the Yatakarasu. Because if anyone can help me find it, I think it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. So you're saying that I have your father's and Ms. Yu's identities backwards? Yes, because the real Yatakarasu is noble to the end. And I want to revive the real noble Yatakarasu. I mean, that is true, because the Yatakarasu wouldn't steal someone's life, right? Wouldn't kill someone. If I don't, my father will never be able to rest in peace. Kay.
Kay, you're so honorable. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'll always be here to cheer you on, pal. Even if you are honorable, a thief is a thief.
Sorry, even if you are honorable, a thief is a thief. Don't know why I gave him Gumshoe's accent there. And if you are plotting to commit a crime, then I'm afraid I can't be complicit.
Mr. Edgeworth, well, you guys are not making it easy for me. Who am I supposed to support now?
Mr. Edgeworth, what I want from you is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that evil woman. That evil woman. You mean Callisto Yu? I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself. But I thought that since you were able to expose her for who she is, then maybe... Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me?
Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you.
Huh? Owe me for what?
When Miss Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today.
I am not so rude as to leave favors unrepaid. Yeah, we're like the Callisters, right? Is it Cannisters? Bannisters? Callisters? Bannisters? I've forgotten the names of Game of Thrones. But yeah, we always repay our debts, right? Canisters, Bannisters, Ballisters, Callisters. It's one of those 4 names, I can't remember now. Then you mean... Yes. That case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fateful day. Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. If you don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you. Mr. Edgeworth, thank you. Yeah, arigato very much.
Yay, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Isn't that great, Kay?
Yeah, it sure is, Gummy. Even though he had completely forgotten about her until just now. Ah, what is with their chummy relationship? The great thief Yatekarasu. After all that time, the identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Hey Hunter, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. The evidence has been falsified. Really? Is that the case? Burn Faraday, Castillo Yu, and Kay Faraday. The phantasmagorically changing identity of the great thief Yatekarasu. And the Yatekarasu real goal. It will all come to light the day after I made my promise to Kay. Okay, the case ended. Okay, that case was cool. Okay, so what I'm gonna do? Okay, so what I think I'm gonna try it, guys. I'm gonna try and finish the game tomorrow.